Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Here's Klingberg for Macklin Celebrini. Chernyshov looking for Macklin. It's Klingberg. Celebrini across. They score! Will Smith with the goal. O'Hara gets it back. He gets Stamkos. He scores!
Right side, base hit. Green around third. Taglione as a cannon. The throw, not in time. It was well worth the wait. 10-9, your final.
And a fly ball back into left field. Pretty well tagged. That's got a chance. Gone. Junior Caminero connects. How about that on a 3-1 pitch?
There's a rocket. Mike Trout blasts off for the Bronx one more time.
Oh, look how far that went. 446 feet, Trout. Judge is looking out there. Is this possible? Oh, man. Trout.
Welcome in, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mail Medical. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. What's up, DB?
I'm not even going to ask you if we're on Trout Watch because you were
we're watching all the
condescending
homers.
And pricky yesterday.
5 homers in a series.
Well, the average. Why are we on Trout Watch?
Well, I'm just saying.
Fine. You just weren't going to play my games, any of them yesterday.
If he stops flirting with the Mendoza line, maybe we can have this conversation.
We just, wow. See, I was, did you watch? So my prep apparently didn't work. I was in the parking lot prepping
Getting mentally right, you know?
For the verbal onslaught that happens in the first hour when I get ran over. So it did not work.
Maybe it did. It's early. We still don't know.
Yeah, I can't just generate anger.
Yeah, you need to get worked up about something.
No. Oh, not at all. But it has to be like I'm very good at. It's not like the Hulk or anything, but it's like.
You need the Hulk hands?
No, like I can. It has to be. I've compartmentalized
legitimate.
The emotion so much
that
it has to be legit. Even when my man Jay today, he was like, you know, because of course the guys clip weird things and put them online.
I didn't even think that one was weird.
The Coach Rule one?
Yeah. Like I didn't think that was a.
Yeah. So my man Jay, I rock with Jay. I rock with Jay all the time. Jay's like, which was funny. Like I need a quantifier, right? It's my job. Like I get these opinions unsolicited all the time.
Yep.
Right. It's like, oh, who all have you talked to? I've never heard this. What I hear is that the team likes. So he wanted. I don't know if he wanted his point out, but he couldn't be serious about have never heard this before, right? Because we heard this about the podcast and travels too much and does too much on social media and needs to focus on winning. And I mean, did I make up the car salesman thing? Because the authenticity thing is like the number one thing. So I was like, is Jay messing with me? Is Jay messing with me that we haven't heard? Like now we're going to act like we haven't heard this. But anyway, so that didn't get me going. So then I was like, well, what else could get me in the mood to deal with Ravi this morning? And I landed the plane on is going to be too manufactured. I was mad at myself for hating on chicken thighs for 46 out of 52 years.
Chicken sandwich.
That's all I could come up with.
So this is a very recent development.
Oh, yeah. I would not. So Heath, well, there's 2 main influences.
Okay.
Heath Thomas, who.
Our friend over at Edwards.
Yep. 6 years ago, smoked some chicken thighs. And they were unbelievable. They looked like he's really good at he kind of taught me about presentation, and he had tucked the skin, and I'm like, fudge, these things are flipping good. And he did them on this POS Masterbuilt, which he loves. I don't like it. He likes it. I give him a hard time. And they were sensational. So that kind of got my attention.
Yeah.
And Severe has been banging the thigh drum almost since I've known him.
Wow, good for Severe.
Like 20 years.
Yeah.
21 years he's been banging the thigh drum. And I have given him pushback. I'm a whole wing and breast guy.
What was
because
your...
even in fried chicken, I'm eating the wing first without question.
Yeah.
And I'm probably eating the breast next.
What was your holdup? Like, did you have a bad experience? What was the problem?
So the thing with thighs there are so many other ways to eat them. It's not my favorite piece to eat fried. Okay. I'll eat it. It's fine. Like I'm definitely not pushing. Like I'd eat a thigh before I eat a drumstick.
Oh, I like a drumstick.
I know we got it. Never mind. But I'm not pushing it away.
Yeah.
It's not because you get the little, the fat and it like just to pull apart. And it feels like
moisture is way better.
I feel like I should have blown it in my Kleenex before I should have eaten it. Right, that little part where it tucks into the quarter. But I just had to get over it. But the way that I had them on the smoker and then. Now even eating the fried pieces of chicken, and I use them. I run through thighs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I was like, I can't. What have I been doing for? How did I trick it off for so long?
I
wonder what I want to know the part So my mom says second joint.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure she means the thigh.
Oh,
but we grew up calling it the second joint.
Why?
I don't know. Maybe we should call her.
It was her birthday yesterday.
I know. I wonder if she's up. We should hit her up.
Like, I don't understand in what sense it would be the second joint.
Yeah, like that's what she referred to it as. So anyway, I was trying to manufacture hate to deal with you this morning, and I ended up hating myself. So it backfired.
You couldn't be mad. I hooked you up with a little help on the old tandoori chicken.
Yeah, it was sensational.
Yeah,
like I'm not even gonna. I say that I'll buy it out again, but I don't need to.
Yeah,
no, I don't. I mean, we have every spice at home.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go get one thing. Now, the only thing I may not always have on hand is ginger.
Not a big ginger guy, huh?
Well, I don't keep it fresh. It's an ugly looking thing. Not that I discriminate against ugly veggies, but I use it out of the squeeze bottle.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes that runs out.
Yeah.
But everything else, I mean, I got the cardamom, I got the cashmere chili, I've got the garam masala, I've got the curry, I've got the turmeric.
That's a panty dropper for
sure. We've even got sumac.
Yeah.
So it's like we can make it whenever. Oh, and Greek yogurt. I almost didn't have enough because I put Greek yogurt in my eggs.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
Oh yeah, it's
beef up the protein a little bit there.
Yeah, but I just restocked. I got 3 dozen from Megan. I'm good. My egg game it's on point.
Todd says, you ever gone through the checkout and asked the cashier if the chicken legs are the front legs or the back legs?
Yeah, I want to know though. Like now I have to legit know what does she mean by the second joint? I assume it's the thigh, but we never said.
I mean, I think of, and I don't know if I got this from when I was briefly taking like athletic training classes or what, but like I always think, okay, the shoulder and hip are joint 1, the knee and elbow are hip 2, the wrist and ankle are hip 3.
No, there's no way she was thinking that.
That's the first thing I thought of. I was like, well, that's not the second joint, that's the first joint.
I'm asking,
but I have no idea.
She's probably getting ready to cap horse races or something. I don't know.
Does she do the non-major races too?
Yeah.
Does she?
Sometimes I'll go over there and she's like on the horse racing channel.
She's like Big A over there.
It's kind of weird. I don't knock how she spends her free time. She spends a lot of time by herself. Why are you laughing at my mom?
I can't believe just the idea of her just like sitting there with like the newspaper and like getting the odds. I'm sure it's online now, but like that's what
I have my own private, can I say bookie?
Yeah, she like, calls her guy, be like, "Hey, Vinny, I need to put, I need to put on the number 3 horse."
Yeah.
Yes. I love my horses.
She's talking about my cousin. It's my dad's nephew.
Wow, that's funny.
He takes good care of her. Oh yeah. I hope she's up and Adam. She likes to listen to the show, but now the second joint thing has me
Oh,
perplexed.
hold on, Scott. Your guy Scott gave an explanation here.
My guy Scott.
Yeah, he says the chicken thigh is called the second joint because in butchery it's the second section of the leg to be separated from the body, located between the drumstick, the first joint, and the hip back.
That might be the most Scott thing ever. He's so good.
TK, quit yelling at us when we don't see a comment. We're doing something. All right.
Wait, I gotta log in. Number one.
Yeah, like
I have yet to log in to the stream, so I apologize. It's totally on me.
You relax, TK.
Well, did TK tell me what it was?
No, he's like, literally look at Scott's comment. He already explained it. It's like, well, sometimes you miss it, man.
Kobe, I'm getting better.
We only get like 4 comments at a time. The way our chat is, like, we can only see the last.
So
I
enlarged this bad boy, but I hate looking at myself, so I just look at the comments now. I think so. I'm kind of with him though, Tater. I don't like chicken legs because it's just not. It's the worst tasting.
The chicken legs,
the drumsticks.
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't know if that's a hot take, but
this is dumb. I just prefer how easy it is to eat.
Yeah, I'm kind of if in fact, and I'll take Tater at his word that's what Severe said. It is tougher. Just the way that it lays, it's strand, it's wound tight.
Alex says, "I want a chicken thigh by the time I get to the second joint."
He's out of control. I mean, between he and KJ in the Discord.
Oh, you got tater salad on your side with the drumsticks. So
he doesn't. I'm telling you, I'm used to him.
I know.
He's fine. He does not make me mad. It is the toughest of the meat.
I don't think so.
Because even people say that breasts are dry. You just you haven't cooked them right. And it doesn't take a lot of
easiest to dry out.
I would agree with that because it's the thickest. I mean, it's the most meat.
To make sure you get it done, and like it's the easiest to dry out. So that's my issue with, because obviously, I'm not cooking for myself ever. And so if I'm going somewhere to eat something, my chances are better with thinner like meat profiles to not have it dry out.
Yeah, this is going to sound very...
Exactly, Kobe. What chicken legs are you eating that they're tough?
I just relative to the rest of the chicken. Not that it's tough meat, just relative to the rest of the chicken.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's not like beef jerky or something. It's just
just relative to the rest
it's
of the
like
chicken.
when we're talking about people being overrated, it doesn't mean they're bad. It's just relative.
Yeah. Chicken is... I'm going to ask you to save the jokes ahead of time.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Is one of the 3 things, because I don't really believe in cravings. People say, oh, I crave, and then it's something very particular. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, I wonder what triggers in your brain that elicit that, right? Fried chicken is definitely something that I could crave, that I would crave. I knock it off. You're
agree.
So stupid.
No, fried chicken's delicious.
Even when I give you enough runway to not be a Richard, you can't not be a Richard.
I didn't say anything.
No, I'm looking dead at you. Like, I know how this goes with you.
No, I'll be honest. I'm a little gun shy this morning.
Why? Because of your debacle yesterday?
No. So Rico at every once in a while, our boss Bill kind of does walks around the building. He checks on people. He asks how things are going. Like he's a good guy that way. And
oh boy,
he walked into Rico and Austin's office yesterday, and he's like, "Hey guys, how's it going? Whatever." And he goes, "How's the show today?" And they're like, "Oh, it was good. Did you hear any of it?" He's like, "No, I haven't gone back and listened yet." And they're like, "Oh, the first hour was a lot." and I'm like, "Okay." And he goes, he goes, it's all right. They're not on radio anymore. I don't care. They can say whatever they want. And then he goes, as long as they don't touch the big three. And Rico and Austin kind of look at each other. They're like, what three are those? And he goes, well, like religion. And he goes, race. And Austin and Rico kind of just look at each other. And they were so distracted they didn't even hear the third one. And I was like, guys, I need to know the third one. And
you're probably batting 1,000.
And I assume the other one's politics. I assume it's race, religion, and politics.
Okay.
So I'm actually only batting 333, which, by the way, is about 100 points higher than Mike Trout right now. But
why the Trout hate? I don't even love Trout. But I'm going to defend him now because you're going all in on Trout.
I know, and I don't have anything against Trout, but because you're like, oh, is he back? I'm like, nah, sucks.
Jeez. So, yeah, we dance around religion.
Yeah, we don't really talk religion. We don't talk politics.
Except, like there'll be the occasional.
Oh, like from our upbringings and stuff. But we're not really discussing religion. It's more like our personal experiences for the most part.
Politics, we don't really touch.
Yeah. And
it's not because I care either. Like,
I
don't care too much about. Like, I enjoy civics or politics.
Yeah.
But I don't not talk about it because it's taboo. I don't talk about it because you're not going to change anybody's mind.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I also like
that's people dig in on that.
I think it's valuable to have spaces where you're not divisive over things that are going to be divisive.
Yeah.
And I like
you don't
want
to introducing conflict.
Yeah, like I think there's a lot of people that have a lot of different worldviews in our chat and that listen to us, and like I like that.
Which by the way, when I'm up in Oregon, should I take a quick detour and check on Dank?
Yeah, you should.
I want I gotta ask him how far he is from you. Is he in?
I think he's in Portland.
Yeah, I was gonna. Okay.
I think he's in Portland.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's far. That's not close enough.
Yeah. But yeah, then the guys were kind of like backpedaling though. They're like, yeah, I mean, they were.
I mean, does Dank think that deeply all the time?
I don't think all the time. I think he just has.
So he just has these real conversations with ChatGPT.
I don't know if that's the one he was using, but yeah, he was using AI. And he was just having these. I do think it's fascinating though. He asks these like existential questions of AI.
I just want to know if he's okay.
He seems all right.
I'm like, Aunt, you good? You good?
Dr. Octagon says hit up Ringside Steakhouse if you go to Portland.
So that's he's one of my wrestling guys. I talk to Doc Ock all the time.
I mean, that makes sense. Octagon, I get that. It's MMA. I know.
Yeah, he's well versed in a lot of but he does love
combat sports.
He does love him some wrestling.
Yeah.
So what is it at Ringside Steakhouse? I'm still trying to get over to Round the Bend. Can you believe I've never been there?
You've never been there?
Never. Not one time. Not in 52 years.
A lot of people like it.
Listen, I just want a good gizzard.
I do think they have good. I don't think I had them, but I'm pretty sure they have them out there.
Yeah, now I'm on the chicken kick.
I have I'll be honest, man. I'm glad you brought up steakhouses.
Why? What's the matter?
I'm not going to disparage anybody local, but there's a specific type of steakhouse that I just realized isn't for me. Just not my vibe, not my deal.
I'm going to say this and move on.
Yeah.
I think steaks are hard to get right. And I would not always be chomping at the bit to eat them out.
I would agree. I also think there's things that I can appreciate about a steakhouse and understand this might not be how I would have had Natasha cook it because I'm not going to cook it, obviously. Actually, I used to cook steaks quite a bit. Like I used to do that, and I like the way I cook my steaks.
What's your what temp are you?
Mid rare to rare.
Okay, so close to the blurple.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Out, I usually order it mid rare because I don't necessarily trust whoever's back there. But if Natasha's making it, I have it go rare.
So you're just a good hard sear.
Yep. Yeah.
More red than not.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like it if it's cool in the middle still. Like that's the only I like it to get warm all the way through, but
yeah,
that's about as much as I want. But there's there's a very like particular style. I'm not going to disparage anybody by name, but there's a particular style of steakhouse. Like, I don't understand the steakhouses or the fascination with steakhouses that have a salad bar. Like, I don't get it.
Oh, like
that's, people are like, oh, they have a great salad bar. First of all, they don't. But why do they have a salad bar at all? You're at a steakhouse. Who needs return trips to the salad bar when you've got steak and sides?
interesting.
Like, and also for whatever reason, like, and that's a very old school steakhouse.
That's how I feel about your affinity for the cold bar at.
I know, but I'm not going there. First of all, that's a phenomenal cold bar. Most of the place you go to these steakhouses, it's like iceberg lettuce, 3 dressings, and bacon bits. Get the F out of here. Like, that's all they are.
There's a couple of steakhouses in Omaha where people do the one where you eat in the dark, and then the famous one.
Well, I mean,
they're
pretty
famous.
dark and both pretty dark.
Yeah.
But
and both those places, the salad gets burned.
I know
a lot of burn,
and I don't understand it at all. It's a like Jason's Deli has a better salad bar than those places does. Like, so Ruby Tuesdays back in the day had an elite salad bar.
Ruby Tuesdays was fire because they always had protein on their salad.
Yeah,
bar.
they had
Can
like
I just tell you
cold cuts and stuff.
Sharpie and I used to go to Jason's Deli all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because there's one right up the street from the old place.
Yeah, probably once a month.
Yeah, I love Jason's Deli.
Until we figured out you can only get take one trip to the salad bar.
No, you just have to buy the multiple trip one.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I'm just, come on, man.
It's just not.
You were flush with that radio cash back in the day. Can't afford a couple extra bucks on the.
Well, I didn't. What we had? 722 first good fired.
And by the way,
At least it took you a while.
going back to Dr. Octagon,
Yeah.
that was a persona by a rapper in the early 2000s. So I'd be interested to know if he used that. It's Cool Keith, by the way.
Was the rapper?
Yeah.
Cool Keith
Is Dr. Octagon.
All right. You got me.
I would.
You got me. I'm going to ask
if that guy
I'm going to
has
ask
that,
a follow-up question.
Yes, I have the CD.
Was that the follow-up? Yeah.
Ow. Oh,
So when Dr. Octagon came up, I was not thinking MMA.
Hey, excuse me, Shade White.
I was thinking that CD.
How were you introduced to Cool Keith?
Because I worked at a radio station. Somebody just gave me the CD. I was like, oh, it's a cool CD.
I love you.
I mean, that delay was shorter than normal.
It's only 6 minutes.
Kobe, I agree. A good salad bar.
Now look at it right there.
You're getting better. Kobe, what do you guys what do you put on your salad?
I agree, Kobe. A good salad bar is elite. The salad bar at Ruby Tuesdays might still be good. They just don't have them in Omaha anymore. So that's why I said it used to be. I want multiple options for type of lettuce that I get.
Okay, I'm
a romaine guy.
Okay.
But I'll sprinkle some spinach in there.
I am not a spinach guy.
It's okay just in passing. I can't do like a whole spinach salad. The texture gets weird.
What's the lettuce with the
butter?
The dark hue, the maroon hue. I'm out on that.
I don't like that one. But I like to have my options for lettuce.
Okay.
I want a lot of different toppings.
Are you cheese?
Yeah, I want cheese.
Are you eggs?
I will sometimes do some eggs if I'm doing it for
I think eggs is a prerequisite. For me.
That's totally fair. A lot of people like eggs on their salad, like the little chopped up hard boiled ones.
Yeah.
I need sunflower seeds. I need those.
Interesting.
I need croutons. I like croutons a lot. I need multiple. I need like a lot of dressing variety. I like it when there's multiple meat options.
What's your go-to dressing?
Oh, I'm a ranch guy.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm born here.
Can I just, and I get you could say this about almost anything of the dressing variety, but isn't ranch, like, what do you taste in ranch dressing with a salad other than the ranch?
Oh, lots of stuff. If you don't drown it,
okay.
Like I think you can get a good like mix there, but the quality of the ranch matters a lot there. There is some ranch that's way overpowering.
Dude, you're like one of 10,000 ranch snobs I know.
Oh yeah, every person in the state of Nebraska is a ranch snob.
I mean a ranch.
I know the
snob.
places that I want to go. Like I know places where like I won't get the ranch, and a lot of it's the consistency.
It's so weird.
And it's like there's certain places I will go specifically because they have good ranch.
Okay, are you are you a protein on your salad guy?
Yeah, I want some. I want real bacon, like real chopped up bacon.
I don't think you can't get away with doing the imitation bacon bits anymore, can you?
The place I was at the other day certainly tried.
Oh, oh, really?
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
I wasn't after I walked in, but I want multiple different, like, if you got some cold cuts on there.
Cold cuts, like the squared ham.
Yeah, like the little
diced. That's not real meat. Stop doing that.
Well, just little diced up meat options. Like I want some options.
Okay,
just give me some options here instead of just like, hey, here's 4 items.
Significantly greater than what? Significantly greater than.
I'm not
blue
cheese dipping sauce guy. I don't mind it like on things.
Is fire.
Ooh, Alex likes to mix the ranch with some other stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of Micah too. He's a big old squirt of sriracha. The hotter, the better for anything with him.
I really enjoy. I'm not doing this.
My eggs the other day.
I'm not doing this on a salad bar. I really enjoy a good Caesar, but I'm very specific, like dressing, but I'm very specific about it. So, but I'm not doing that on like a regular salad. That's got to be my Caesar salad specifically.
I had some leftover queso fundido, which is a chorizo and queso dip from a restaurant, and it had been in the fridge. It was in the fridge. It was in the fridge.
How long did it take to get put in the fridge?
First of all, I didn't get it, but Jay went out with some other people, and she brought it home, and she doesn't eat leftovers, so it was in the fridge like 2 days in a plastic container.
Okay.
I had this epiphany since Micah likes chorizo. I put it in his eggs, and I don't know if I can go backwards now.
Chorizo on the eggs?
Just the dip.
Oh,
so he got the spinach in there. He got the queso.
Yeah.
It looked fire, but I wasn't gonna eat repurposed spinach. I barely eat regular spinach. Who yelled at me yesterday in the chat for not eating vegetables?
Oh no, that was in Discord. It was Cal Jam.
Oh, figures. It was KJ because I was like, damn, KJ, like
eat your bleeping vegetables.
Just dropping expletives for no reason.
Jack, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm not choosing my ranch because I think it might be healthy.
Wait, why am I not surprised he makes his own ranch?
He goes, we make our ranch and blue cheese, bottled dressing, not very healthy. It's like, that's not real high on my concern list when I'm getting the ranch.
I should probably know this. I assume some sort of buttermilk is the base for ranch?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to live with Jack for a while. Jack, it's churning the butter.
The butter.
Right?
Yeah, churn.
If he's a churn guy, I might leave tomorrow.
You gonna do the show from Tennessee?
Might just lay on the land for a little bit off the grid. I assume you've got running water. I need to be able to shower.
Yeah,
so that I can function.
Yeah, you got to make sure that he can,
He said an acreage, right?
I think so.
Doesn't have a neighbor within a mile.
Yeah, I think he's got some land out there.
Yeah, that's got me written all over it.
He's just trying to stay away from everybody.
Juan's trying to get me to buy guns.
A lot of people have been trying to get you to buy guns.
I'm going to.
I think TK was on that train as well.
I'm probably going with TK's suggestion.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do I have to not have done to pass a background check? I mean, I've had really good jobs, so I assume I'm good.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how the gun law. I don't know.
I don't know if they do background checks in Nebraska.
I hope so. Otherwise, I just have to go see my friends. But no, I'm kidding.
We're gonna Google this.
I don't have any, Derek. I'm good there.
What, felonies?
Have you been arrested? Yes. It's a long time ago. Don't they do background checks in Nebraska, don't they?
For handgun related permits. I think you can buy other ones without.
Yeah, I'm getting one. I only want a handgun. You can't even. How quick could I shoot a shotgun if I had an intruder?
Well, not everybody uses guns for like intruder purposes. Like if you're going hunting or something. Like
no, I get that.
Yeah.
But if I was going hunting, I'm not going to get a 9.
That's what I mean, though. Like if you're getting something that's not a handgun, I don't think there are background checks for that. I think it's just handguns. At least that's what the Nebraska State Patrol website.
There's an officer that follows me on social media that offered to teach me to shoot.
Yeah.
Yes, I won't put him out there, but
That's nice of him.
as a matter of fact, he's closer to Juan than me.
Like location wise?
Sure. Sure. And I was like, yep. He's listening he's a huge fan. So I'm like, he's like, hey man, I'll teach you. And do it the safe way.
Oh, Jack has to watch his sodium. That's why he doesn't like the bottle.
Sodium. That's a sneaky killer. Sodium is a sneaky killer. Like that's in a lot of like I'm super particular about my sauces. If the first thing Nick asked me every time I cry about something, he's like, "Hey, there's a lot of what's sodium content?" Yeah, I'm like, "Damn."
I'll be honest, I don't worry a lot about sodium.
Well, you don't have to.
I mean, maybe I do. I just never asked.
I don't think so. Given I'm not going to play a doctor, but
yeah.
I don't think so. Between the sugar, the salt, like there's something unique once you already have it that like precludes you from it being an issue because most people that are type 2 happens from a higher sodium intake, right? Potentially?
Not necessarily. I think a lot of people that end up with type 2 have higher sodium intakes because of like lifestyle factors. I don't think the sodium is a causation for the type 2. I think it's just like overlapping symptoms.
All right, Tater, no background check needed. I'm good. No, I'd have been fine anyway.
Yeah, I think to have the permit to like carry, they do the background checks, but I don't think to actually purchase.
Well, Juan must have been listening for a long time because I said either I was going to conquer one of the two fears first, either motorcycles or
and
that was a couple of years ago.
Was it?
I think.
I thought it was more recent than that, but I don't know.
Maybe.
I have no idea.
It's certainly
been a minute though.
It's certainly not going to be motorcycle.
I remember you being like, it's never going to be motorcycles.
Well, I watched a guy the other day coming from 192nd and Dodge on the expressway heading east. Those guys, they drive different. I mean, there wasn't even a ton of traffic, but between how he could lean his bike and was weaving.
Alex is right. You don't even need a permit anymore.
Well, that's scary.
Yeah.
You don't?
In 2023, they changed the Constitution of Nebraska that any person other than a minor or prohibited person is allowed to carry a concealed handgun anywhere in Nebraska with or without a permit under the Concealed Handgun Permit Act.
So then I got to thinking, and I was with my mom and Zoe, so I didn't want to say anything out loud or even under my breath. But there seems to be a certain biking style with people that have motorcycles. But I hate the stereotype because I know Daniel's nuts, but he doesn't strike me as a guy that would be a crazy motorcycle rider.
Yeah.
But some of these guys, maybe it's the type of bike.
So I do think that's it. Like when you've got the guys that typically ride like Harleys, like the big bikes, and I know not all of them are Harleys, but like that's the style.
Yeah.
Typically they're a lot less aggressive. Whereas when you have the like Yamahas and like the kind of the more racing bikes, a lot of those are super aggressive.
Yeah,
and those are the ones that are like splitting traffic and stuff.
I just can't believe how low they can lean to the cement.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, this guy's got no knee pads. I don't know if I could be comfortable in jeans either. But you're certainly not wearing shorts on the bike.
No, and you definitely shouldn't wear.
Well, what's the difference? I mean, if you go down, it's not like the denim material is going to save any more flesh.
It might.
Dude,
there's a reason
you're ripped up regardless.
There's a reason they wear like that leather. And
stuff. That's different.
I mean, denim greater than shorts, like direct skin contact versus anything has got to be a plus.
Yeah.
Apparently, you need a permit to buy, but not to carry. This is what the chat's telling me. I'm going to stop Googling because I think every time AI gives me an old answer. So I'm not going to do that anymore.
For a really good gizzard, go to... Oh, yeah. I agree with you, Jeremy. He said for a really good gizzard. I'm back to the gizzards again. Alpine Inn. Alpine Inn is really good to begin with.
TK
I get no free plugs, but Alpine Inn's pretty good.
I don't think I've ever been there.
It's legit.
TK almost had to fight a crackhead on his run this morning.
TK TK, I get the Wichita thing, but like, how are you just,
where are you running?
Where are you running?
You're running into crack. Maybe he's running to work. Maybe he's like jogs around work.
No, because I think he's got to dress nice. And I hope he showers.
Maybe they got a locker room at work. I don't know. I don't know what his office is like.
TK, why are you running into crackheads? And how do you know he was on crack? He could have just been having a bad morning. Kobe, the bigger story is TK was on a run. Like, Kobe's a menace. I talk about him in my house. I think people think he's this mythical person.
No, he's a real guy. I assume he's a real guy. I guess I haven't met him.
Hey, HP, are you worried about your Yankees?
Kobe's a Yankees fan too.
No, I know. Well, 7 out of 10. Playing 500 ball. Still pitching it fairly well.
It's a good thing the AL East sucks.
It's early though.
Well, yeah, but they haven't. Like, none of those teams have.
When do you start caring? June 1?
I mean, I care now, but if you haven't gotten some level of competent by June 1, then I'm concerned.
All right.
You know what I mean? Like, I need you to be a couple games above 500 by June 1. Give me some idea that you got things heading in the right direction.
Remember a couple of weeks ago, who were we talking to? It was pre-Jesse Rogers. It was another one of our baseball guys, and I was trying to disparage the Padres.
Steve Gardner.
Did you see Kobe's comment?
What do you say?
The bullpen is bleeping terrible. Caps.
Between he and KJ, they just can't be normal people. Can't you just talk to me like a regular person? For KJ to clap back in 10 seconds over hey, just catching up on the pod. Eat some MF and vegetables, GB. I was like, geez, man. Like, I was introducing fiber to my diet. Then he hit me with the little kid thing, and I was like, that's not even kind.
You do give other people a hard time for eating like children for somebody that doesn't eat their vegetables.
I don't understand where we got this vegetable thing is a kid thing.
Because kids don't like eating their vegetables for the most part.
It's a taste thing. That's different than going out as a 50-year-old and picking boneless wings off the menu. Like, they're not the same thing.
Kobe says, we're in a YouTube chat. I ain't being normal here.
You know what I mean? Like, where did we come up with that?
I don't know what you mean. Where do we come up with eating chicken off a bone is better than eating chicken with a fork? Like, what is?
It's a taste thing.
Okay.
And at some point when you grow up, you're afforded the luxury to be able to purchase things that you don't have to eat as a kid. Like, if I'm Mike Sautter and I'm 50, I've earned the right to not have to eat a turkey and mayo sandwich. I can say you have a childlike palate. That's not the same as not eating vegetables.
No, but children famously don't eat their vegetables. I think that's the correlation.
Which, by the way, I back to hating you yesterday. As I was leaving the speaking engagement with the radio network, Kyle and I had to talk to this pretty sweet group. I was leaving and they had boxed lunches.
Mm-hmm.
They had ordered them for the group and they had 8 or 9 extras. And one of the main donors was like, hey, feel free to take as many as you like. And I was like, oh, say less. I'll put the meats together. And I was walking out. And I should have known because one of the listeners there brought his son. He's a little dude. He was so cute. I mean, he's a terror. He was all over his dad's lap and stuff. And I caught him picking his nose. And I was like, you picked your nose. So I'm, I'm basically being a 3-year-old with the 5-year-old. And his dad was walking out and I grabbed the boxes and I was like, I'm probably not going to eat these in the car. And he goes, how long are you going to let those sit before you put them in the refrigerator? And I go, oh my God. It's everywhere. Dead dog serious. That's what the dude said. I go, oh man.
We've reached a saturation point in the market where everybody knows about your food storage practices.
And it's overblown. That's the thing. I have to quantify things like, hey, the queso fundido was in the fridge.
It's important.
Like, I'm not just gonna had a couple of episodes. And it's grown legs.
So was your food.
It's not true.
We got to take a quick break because Austin and Rico keep yelling at me.
How about Shane? Hey, we've got to get to 6.
How about nobody showing up here today? Except
Dude,
for
it's
Shane?
awesome. Like, I love our guys.
Where's
but
Austin and Rico?
This is very peaceful.
Well, I can fix that.
Well, I was prepping in the driveway, in the parking lot.
Trying to get a little mentally right.
By the way, did you see me pull in?
Yeah, right behind me.
20 mile an hour I was driving. You would have blown right by me running.
No, I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you'd have kept up with the car at 20 mile an hour. Just a goddamn crawl. The dude in the truck, he's like, this guy's an idiot. What is he doing?
I'm glad you have confidence in me that I can run 20 miles an hour.
You could have kept up with the car. See, you associate a number with it and you get psyched out.
That's good. No, you literally just said, I was going 20 miles an hour. You could have kept up with it.
So slow.
Remember when we talked about relative?
No, I'm not getting into this. I just wanted you to know that I wanted you to say, why are you driving so slow? And I wanted to be able to answer so you could keep up.
I'm just glad you think I'm fast. We'll be right back. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
It's the declaration of deals at Edwards Jeep Council Bluffs in Village Point. Lease the 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4, 0 down, starting at just $349 a month for returning lessees. Shift into spring with deals this good only at Edwards Jeep Council Bluffs in Village Point, or lease the 2026 Jeep Compass Limited, 0 down, starting at just $299 a month for returning lessees. Don't wait. Declaration of deals won't last. Get to Edwards Jeep Council Bluffs in Village Point.
Yeah, it's been a great build-up. You know, we played Omaha a few weeks ago, and they were short-staffed. They had several of their players that weren't able to play, but it was just great to go against somebody different, and they go so fast. So it's something very different than what's in our gym. So we got to adjust and adapt to that. And then this past weekend, we played just 3 way more physical teams in Kansas, Arkansas, and Mizzou. So it was fun to get to play against that, go against just more physical blocks and still very different styles of offenses and defenses, and see where our team's at. Lots of things that we took away from that of like, great, those are things that are going to do well for us in the fall, and then some things that are like, all right, let's get back in the gym and work on it, and this is another opportunity for that. I think what this match on Friday gives us the opportunity to do is work on nerves as well. You know, we played in front of a crowd for Omaha, but there's a different feel for Nebraska, being in Sokol, sold out, it'll be on TV and loud and all those kinds of things. So great for our new players that are wearing a Blue Jay jersey for the first time, whether they're the freshmen or the transfers, to kind of get that feel, or even like a Trinity who playing like a bigger role now than she has before. And so for them to get to see and feel this before it's real in the fall, I think our home opener here in the fall is going to be pretty tough. So this would be a great opportunity to test that.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
It's a lot of good matchups through the years. I can't recall maybe a Big Ten, maybe Illinois. I remember maybe my last year here with Darren in 2014, we had a pretty awesome series with Illinois. I think I don't know if either team was ranked, but we were both at the top of the league, and Pat Kelly hit a walk-off homer on Sunday. That was pretty cool. But we've had some, really, really great crowds through the years, good matchups. And I don't know that we've had a team that's come in here in a really long time with the type of pitching numbers that USC has and the type of team that they have and how consistent they've been. So it's going to be a great test for us.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We took a break in the first hour so that Rico and Austin, who didn't feel the need to come to work today, would stop yelling at me.
It's very different without them.
It is. It's a different vibe.
Yeah. AJ doesn't really speak unless spoken to. Yeah. So he's not like a greeter.
Or sometimes he'll sprint into the room when he's got a comment.
Suave is a greeter. Like, hey, he gives you good energy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we just walk in here and it's just the three of us. And I was like, oh, this is like old times. This is kind of refreshing.
It's at the restaurant. You just walk through a cloud of hula berry as you come into work.
And it's dark, which I like.
Yeah. So, you don't like a lot of lights.
Hey, be honest, though, real quick. Before I
miss you guys too, by the way.
Wait. Is that real?
Yeah, it's Austin, I think.
What'd you say, Action Jackson?
I just said I miss you guys. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's
I
fine.
know. That's why we wish you guys were here.
I'm currently in western Nebraska if you needed me, so I'm a bit away.
What are you doing?
Just hanging. What, a guy can't hang?
Can't hang, huh? What do you mean?
Drinking coffee, popping no-dos. Can't hang.
Well, I wanted to answer like Shane answered yesterday, where it's like, what did he say? He just answered your question with the same question.
Yeah, when I asked him about, what do you mean? Do I want Mendoza? It's like, oh, do you?
That's just a terrible question.
You smoke crack, don't you?
So what's Rico's excuse?
He said he's got track.
I'm going to the track meet today.
Oh, I need the rundown. Remember, I asked you about conference contention. So I need you to take some notes.
Well, they are doing a lot better than I thought they were going to. So I told you, the women should finish in the top 3 of the conference and the men probably the top 5.
Yep.
I might have to revise that. They're doing really well.
Okay. Because I think they're in conference. I think they can win it.
I do not. I think they can finish runner-up.
Okay. Fair.
Do you think there will be multiple people there that could keep up with a 20-mile-per-hour car?
Would you stop?
Rico. Yes.
Rico. If I I'm going to say this.
Rico was a sprinter, though, so he's going to be closer to
I
the top
just want to
end
know
speed.
what he's thinking.
Okay, go ahead.
So, Rico, we have a huge parking lot out there, right?
Yes.
So if I'm just driving around at 20 mile an hour, just like circling or whatever, just meandering, do you think you could jog next to me and have a conversation, or run next to me and be like, "Hey, where are you going? Why are you driving?"
I don't think I can jog 20 miles an hour.
God, you guys are so stuck on the 20.
No. See, I understand what you're saying. 20 miles an hour seems really slow in a car, but when you're running, 20 miles an hour is you're booking it.
So I just leave this conversation alone going forward.
I think we need to test it out, and then you can.
When we leave work, I'm going to drive around this parking lot at 20 mile an hour, and Ravi's going to be like, "Why it's so slow?"
I'm 100% not doing that.
So slow.
DB, it's kind of like when you have a kid that's really smart, you got a 3-year-old and they're like, oh, wow, that kid's really smart. If they still had that same intellect at 40, you'd be like, not super bright. Context matters. In a car, 20 is pretty slow. Ew. On foot, 20 is pretty fast.
I didn't need the analogy. God, I hate your delivery. It's horrible.
I'm just gonna say this, just outside observer, not there in person.
What?
Robbie's on a heater today.
Listen,
and he's had a couple that went by you that listen, when you were talking about chicken thighs in the first hour, I guess we're still in the first hour.
With
and
severe?
And you go severe. Severe's into thighs, and he goes, "Oh, good for him."
No, he says he will. He said he will bang on some thighs or something like. Oh, good for Severe.
No, listen, AJ.
Robbie's been on a roll this week.
I was gonna say. I think the lower his insulin gets, the funnier Ravi is.
So
the closer you are to death, the funnier you are.
Wow. So I'm just sitting in my car, right? And, I've kind of guilted him into checking on me. So I think he felt compelled because he was going to go in. And then he did a little like 120 pirouette. And he's like, coming in? And I go, no, I'm getting mentally prepped for you because I've been getting killed this week. And he just bebopped on back in the studio. That's how it's gone this week. That was not, we have some issues that we're going to have to sort through.
I think you've been having a great week.
No, I don't.
Are we going to have to talk about it at the poker game you didn't want to invite me to?
Yeah, which I'm still mad at those guys. And I have zero stroke with them. It's just like, oh, he's just Rudy Poot DB. They don't even like, hey, is it cool if we invite your friend? It's like, well, it's my house. It's my card game. I'll invite who I want to. And I was like, I don't even really like it like that. What if I want to get away?
To be fair, I feel like you would say that about like half the people at that card game.
Nah, I like
just Jernigan.
He sent me a T-shirt the other day. He's nuts. He goes, my people skills are fine. It's my tolerance to idiots that need work.
Austin says there's no food in this house. He's going to fast food breakfast. If there's a Hardee's nearby, that's probably your best bet.
Why did he leave?
I don't know. He just goes to Western Nebraska sometimes. I feel like.
Why is it so general? Like Western Nebraska is anything west of Kearney. What are we?
I think he does like little pit stops at different places. So I think he just needs to really get in the Western Nebraska air.
Is he?
He's kind of like a,
where does he land?
I would imagine.
Can I tell a joke that won't get me in trouble? Like, can it just stay between us girls?
You have a filter. Go ahead.
What's up?
Well, the right answer is I got hoes in different area codes, but I'm engaged, so I wouldn't say that. That's not why. That's not what I'm saying.
Technically speaking,
there's only 2 area codes, so
technically in Nebraska, wouldn't it be you have hoe in different area code?
Technically, there's 3, but one just has 2.
Grade A. An idiot. I mean, you know what makes that super funny? He's the least likely person to use that word.
Code?
Yeah.
Area?
Oh,
no.
right.
So, Austin, where are you landing in Western Nebraska? Are you going home?
Yeah, so I'm in Kearney. We have an alumni event that's tonight, so I just came back for this, and then I'm heading back tomorrow for the Trailblazer Conference Baseball Championship.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
There you go. So you're in Central Nebraska.
Yeah. It's just funnier to say Western.
I know. I
man of the people.
Yeah,
he needs to feel that it's like he's like a blue whale, right? Like he can stay below
you said there's
water.
no.
What? Did you just call me a whale?
No. Not
white,
not appearance wise. Like blue whales, they're mammals, right? They have to breathe air, but they can stay underwater for like a really long time. That's how Austin is with being in the big city. Like he can stay underwater for a real long time, but every once in a while he's got to surface for air back up in Western Nebraska.
Jimmy Neutron.
I just texted Rico this earlier. I was like, there are no cars here. I kind of forget that nobody lives out here.
Yeah. So are you coming back? So you're gonna miss Mason Edwards tonight?
Yeah, because I'm gonna be hanging out with my folks.
Okay. Well, you have fun. I'm gonna be watching a nice little pitching battle between Katsky and Mason Edwards.
We do have TVs out here, so I can do that too. But yeah.
Noted.
But never mind.
Robbie, I feel like there's so many other animals you could have chosen that breathe air in water, but you decided to go with blue whale.
It's literally just whales and dolphins. Like that's the whole group. I had two options.
Then why didn't you pick dolphin?
He could have picked seals. He could have picked polar bears.
Yeah, but they don't
He
stay
could have picked a sea turtle.
because blue whales stay underwater the longest.
Because you think Austin is fat. Got it.
I think Austin is a terrific athlete. He runs all the time. I've been helping him analyze.
I thought you said he wasn't very coordinated.
Some of his.
Or was that off air?
Well, he's a good he's very fit. Athlete might be aggressive.
Ouch.
That's never been more true. That's why I don't do like whenever they're like, "Hey, we should play a pickup game." I'm always like, I got a dog thing. I got to leave.
Like I gotta let Ava out. I gotta take food to Dr. Fiance at the hospital. He told me when we put our softball team together last year, he goes, I'll coach. I don't really want to play unless I have to, because people think I might be kind of athletic, and I do not want to dispel that notion.
Well, self-aware.
Me and Austin are polar opposites. I'm an athlete, but I'm in terrible shape, and he's in great shape, but not an athlete.
I'm the opposite. Nobody thinks that I would be good at sports, and I'm like for a normie, I'm pretty good at the different things we do.
Yeah, and he's been telling me off air that he's actually pretty fast. We went to break, and he goes, "I'm faster than people think."
I am. Again, it's like the athleticism thing. Like I'm better. Like you look at me, and it's like, oh, faster than I would have thought.
20 mile an hour fast.
No, not 20 mile an hour fast.
I'll be in the parking lot, guys, if you need me.
My hamstrings would fall off the bone.
We'll talk to Tim after that.
We got Tim VERGHESE from inside Nebraska coming up next. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. Hurrdat Sports Live.
It's the declaration of deals at Edwards Jeep and Ram Village Point in Council Bluffs. Lease the 2026 Ram 1500 Bighorn 4x4. Returning lessees just $389 a month. Non-returning $449 a month. Zero down. Shift into spring with deals this good. Only at Edwards Jeep and Ram. Or lease the 2026 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Sport S 4x4. Zero down. Returning lessees just $319 a month. Non-returning $369 a month. Don't wait. Declaration of deals won't last. Get to Edwards Jeep and Ram at Village Point in Council Bluffs today.
I think one thing when you look at this year, we basically did or accomplished what we did without a pure point guard on the roster. And, I think that's pretty impressive when you look at it, to not have a guy, Jamarcus never really played point guard until he got here, and he was more off the ball until we had some injuries. That first year. And then he went to Rhode Island where he played more of the lead facilitator, and then that was his role on this team. But he never played point guard in high school. Sam has played off the ball his whole career. Kale, he's the utility guy, played some point in high school, but, that's not maybe his natural position. So, certainly he can play there, and he did a great job for us this year. So, listen, I've had different guys going all the way back to my first year. Deontay Garrett was a pure point guard, and he led the Big 12 in assists. We've had guys here that have led the Big 10 in assists, but I've also had big guys that have led our team in assists. Maybe if we don't have that pure point guard, I've always been, my biggest priority is to go out and get the most talent if they fit what you're trying to do, and then you figure it out from there. So if that's a skilled big that can initiate the offense, maybe you don't have to have as much of a pure point. If you don't have a Rink or a Derek Walker or a George Niang or a Royce White, maybe you have to have more of a pure point guard. So, we do need help in that area. There's no doubt about it. And we're going to identify, those players that we feel fit from that standpoint. But again, if you can get the point forward or the hybrid type big, that maybe that pure point isn't quite as important.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Mail Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Tim VERGHESE from inside Nebraska. Tim, what's going on, man? How we doing?
How are you doing this morning?
TV, you're back? You've been back for a couple days, right, from Dallas?
Yeah. Quick trip.
Okay. This is part of my profiling, me just getting a glimpse into people's personalities. If you walked into a building, TV, that's probably a 3 or 4 level building, and there's a sign there's 2 elevators, and the sign says out of order. Are you seeing if both elevators are out of order? Are you taking the stairs? What's your initial reaction when you see out of order?
If it's 3 to 4, if it's 3 or 4 stories in particular, like I'm not even really waiting to like hit the button and see if an elevator comes down. I'm probably just taking the stairs. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What did you do?
I took the elevator.
Shane, what did you do?
Well, I was there when the guy was in it that it broke. So I already knew to take the stairs.
I immediately took the stairs. But then when I came down, he said one of the elevators works, only one is broken.
Yeah. Well, the sign is on one elevator. Well, it's on the one side.
It's on one side. It's not on the elevator.
No,
it's
but
just
it's
closer.
It's on the frame.
Yeah. Tim, you're just walking too?
Yeah, like I mean, I don't even like at our apartment, like we're 6 floors, but like if it's taking a second for the elevator to get down, I'm like, I'll just take the stairs. It's fine.
Yeah. All right. That's why we get along. There's no indictment of you. I didn't know what you did.
I'm taking the elevator all the time.
It's just
always.
He's having a bad week, TV. How was so let's do I start here? Let's start with overblown news. Local recruits taking visits elsewhere. Are we up in arms? The cost of doing business, like what should we be doing with this, TV?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that you see a longtime commit make a visit elsewhere, and it's like, oh well, he's gone, and it's like, well, Nebraska's been hosting guys committed elsewhere for months now, and like it goes both ways. It is the cost of doing business, like you said, and ultimately, like, yeah, Torrey Pittman was out of Miami. We'll see what comes out of that. We still don't even really know if he actually made it out there. Like, that's the other part of this thing is, you know how Torrey is. He's not one that talks a whole lot. Yeah. And yeah, we don't even really know for sure that he made out there. He was on the visitor list. As far as we know, Miami was expecting him as of yesterday morning. I haven't checked back in just yet this morning, but we'll see what. Regardless, again, and here's the thing: before Torrey even committed last summer, the expectation was he was going to see some of these national programs that had offered him, that had shown some interest, and he never really got the chance to do that. And then committed to Nebraska and has been firmly committed since. Look, guys are going to do this. It's going to happen. I don't necessarily think there's too much cause for concern. Regardless, as I posted yesterday, defensive back is one of those positions I wouldn't be too worried about in the 27 cycle, regardless of what happens. I think they're very well positioned for multiple DBs this cycle. Addison Williams has done a good job building out some depth, both at corner and safety, where they can afford to miss on a few guys and still put together a pretty impressive class, because that's just the type of board that Addison Williams has given himself.
Yeah, you don't really strike me as the type of person that gets in your feels. So when we talk about this, how do we keep from, the sky is falling and just kind of keep it the whole facts over feelings thing?
I like around here these days it feels tough, but like at the same time, I had someone reach out to me the other day of just like, why does it feel like we're missing out on all of our top targets? Why does it feel like Nebraska, like recruiting is kind of falling apart? It's like, well, they set themselves up with a really nice board and have done a lot of early work with a lot of top guys. And when you're only taking 20 to 25 guys, you're going to miss out on some, and you're going to miss out on, and yeah, like there's a few that came a little out of nowhere that no doubt sting. I think, not making the final cut for Mark Matthews no doubt stings. It's trending that same way with potentially Kennedy Brown, but I think Nebraska is going to be able to get a return visit there. And then you think about I mean, Juju Johnson just this last week eliminated Nebraska from his group of contenders just a few days, if not weeks after saying Nebraska was at the top of his recruitment. Things change fast, but at the same time, again, like the two positions where you're really seeing guys drop off the board, offensive line and defensive back, they have plenty of options. They're still going to put together a pretty impressive class, I think, at both of those position groups, even with some targets coming off the board. I would say, linebacker is a position I've seen some hand-wringing about. Look at what Nebraska's done in that linebacker room thus far. They brought in Dexter Foster, Nolan Chambliss this year. There's no guarantee that 2026 is the last season both of those guys play at Nebraska. They brought in Will Hawthorne as well, a young guy they're pretty excited about. Pierce Mooberry's had a really nice spring. They remain pretty excited about his potential within that room. Dawson Merritt's a young guy they're excited about. Christian Jones still in the room, still developing.
All 226 pounds of Christian Jones, down 19 pounds, and looks every bit of it.
He's moving. He was moving well.
He looked good, didn't he? Yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah. He was moving well at the spring game. And then you got Jace Reynolds coming in this cycle. They're not taking more than 1 to 2 linebackers this cycle anyway. So yeah, when you establish a board with, 15, 16 type targets and you're only taking 2 of them, they're going to miss out on some of them. That's how recruiting works. Now, again, I would say if I were to be concerned about anything, taking a very realistic view at this, the defensive line board, they're in a good spot for a few guys, and I think again the guys that are capable, they may not make splashes along the defensive line, but they are in some guys that I think are capable of contributing early that fit what Nebraska's looking for, and they're in it for a few of those guys. But they need to add, I think, 2 to 3 plus true interior defensive linemen this cycle. And we'll have to wait and see on that. That's something that, I think we're going to have to see it to believe it, whether that's a combination of Xavion Meads and Waylon Wooten and Zamar Tooks, whether it's a combination of Waylon Wooten and Zamar Tooks and, someone else, like whatever that looks like. I think Errol DeMontignyak's a guy they're pretty well positioned for, all 290 pounds of him out of Sefner Armour down in Florida, a very productive interior defender. So I think they have a good floor established along the defensive line, but they need to make multiple additions, and they need to beat out some of these schools for some of their guys there. And it would help to make a splash if they could. I mean, David Fuller-Runcho was a top guy they're targeting for. Yeah. Guess what? That recruitment's turned into a Notre Dame, Michigan, Miami, and Texas Tech battle.
Yeah, remember the early days? That was nice.
Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, no, it was. You see that? I mean, in a week, and it's really funny. I mean, a few years ago, when that Joey McGuire and his staff first got there, you see a Texas Tech offer and you're like, oh, that's a really good eval by them. Or, oh, that's a guy I need to keep tabs on, because they used to be really early on guys, especially in the underclassmen group. Now you see a Texas Tech offer and you're like, oh God, like what? Like Anthony Sweeney, 5-star edge rusher, out of nowhere, Texas Tech hosts him for a visit and gets him to campus, and they land him. They're now trending, for Olu Bobula, a top offensive tackle out of New Jersey that was previously trending to Texas A&M, Nebraska, Florida, Penn State, few others working in that mix. Texas Tech kind of become that program where they offer, especially these top end guys, and every other program in there kind of shudders a little bit, because if they want them, it's really going to be hard to top what Texas Tech has to offer right now.
It's super strange, TV, that's the place that we're in, because typically when that's been the case, it's been teams that have won at a super high level. Like when Alabama would come in for an offer, people like, oh crap. Ohio State comes in for an offer, people like, oh crap. Texas Tech hasn't won at that level yet. It's literally just, holy cow, what am I going to have to pay this guy, right?
Yeah.
It's some of that. I mean, it helps too. They have, again, in comparison, I would say it's not 1-for-1, because Nebraska does not have the same level of money, of course, like just yet. And I mean, obviously they're working on it. But the thing with Texas Tech is, in addition to having all that, they have really good facilities. I would say, like, besides Nebraska, we've heard like the second best facilities in the country. And like Nebraska, they're really pitching guys on. You come to Lubbock, you sit here and you develop. There's no better place for you to be. And on top of that, they have this overwhelming financial offer. That, and here's the thing, I do want to see what that looks like longer term, because, for example, earlier this offseason, they offered and landed a interstate linebacker, Jordan Nelson, who, was Texas was in the mix. A few other programs were in the mix, but they kind of set the market in that recruitment, and then that number got out. So, and that's an instant. It's an inside linebacker. It's not a premium position. It's not necessarily a position. And if you're Texas Tech now and that number's out there, and you're a linebacker being recruited by them, why wouldn't you say, well, I need at least that much? And again, that's a market-setting offer for that position where, and that's not. It was also not a prospect where relatively, it's not necessarily like a 5-star prospect or even a borderline 5-star prospect. He's a blue chip prospect, no doubt, but I don't think it was a recruitment where. So that's what I'm interested to see. How many cycles can they stack being the top bidder at multiple positions for these guys before it gets unsustainable? Because ultimately that is the truth of it. I don't know how sustainable it is, but ultimately, if you're able to stack the right guys in the trenches with the right guys at the skill positions over the course of 2 to 3 years, and you win a championship, it's all worth it.
TV, it's a little early, but I'm kind of seeing it a little bit with this last cycle of portaling in basketball. Football, the comments from Kirby Smart about what Georgia can sustain versus development. I mean, this is Georgia. There seems to be like this underlying tone that even these coaches, whether they acknowledge it out loud like Smart did or not, they know it's not sustainable. How quickly do you think some of these guys try to get out in front of reestablishing the, hey, who wants to be here versus who wants to make the most money?
I think Kirby's already well out ahead in front of it. That's the thing.
He's been open about it.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Georgia too. Is like they aren't. I mean, typically nowadays they're not even close to the highest bidder for anybody. Like they set their offer and they're like, look, you come here and get developed or not. Like, look, we produce pros. The thing is, you need to have some leverage to be able to do that. You need to have professional production. You need to have, championships. You need to have whatever it is behind the belt that the guys are looking for. That takes winning. It takes, again, developing and all those things. So the programs that do that stuff at a high level can't afford to say, hey, you can come here and be that. No, Nebraska's edge here is they have facilities. They have certain things, but they can offer. Truly, they can't offer and say, hey, when you come here, you're going to be taken care of better than anyone else in the country. We don't necessarily need to be the highest bidder on you. Does that work? We'll have to see, because Nebraska still needs to, again, probably establish more wins on the field and do some of that stuff. Right now, again, for the guys they want, they're pretty competitive for. Like I put up this week, Ahmad Hudson, that's a recruitment where they're very competitive on the NIL side of things for right now. And they're going to continue to battle in that recruitment over these next few weeks. But that's
like an NIL guy.
It doesn't need to be, but like that when it comes down to it, it's gonna I mean, it's gonna be a factor for most of these guys when it's a back and forth. But I don't know how much of a true factor it is for him when, again, the money appears to be relatively even on both sides of things as things currently stand. And I don't see either program really blowing the other one out of the water in this particular recruitment. I think they're going to stay matched or very close to each other up until the very end.
Tim, I'm glad you brought that up, because I get the sense that people believe in the Ahmad Hudson recruitment, that LSU is just going to blow away Nebraska's NIL offer. And with you saying that's not true, and obviously I take your word for it, what ends up being the next biggest factor there? Is it the alignment of coaches to allow him to play both sports? Does playing at home end up being the deciding factor for you? Like, what do you think is the next biggest factor in his decision?
I don't think it's a playing at home thing, but that is actually what I'm curious to see. Like, what is the most important thing now? Is it the best overall plan? Is the most comprehensive plan to develop him as a two-sport athlete? Like the best, because on paper, Nebraska's laid out the most comprehensive plan and laid out this. I mean, again, thoroughly laid out this plan for him to develop both on the football side of things and still compete in basketball and develop on that side of things as well. Now, I would say my question is, how important is that compared to legacy? I want to say stay closer to home. I would say legacy. His father was in attendance. His father played for LSU basketball. His father was in attendance at Will Wade's press conference. I think more so than anything Lane Kiffin or Will Wade has done since getting to the staff, it's more so been the draw of, oh, I could just follow my dad's footsteps. Oh, I could play for two successful head coaches. They haven't done, like, to this point, we haven't heard anything that they've done to overcome Nebraska on the relationship side of things. Nebraska still has the best relationship. Nebraska still has the best plan. And if you know anything about the way Lane Kiffin recruits, I'm not expecting them to put together this impressive, comprehensive plan that matches what Nebraska's laid out on the table for how they plan to develop him. LSU, more likely than not, like I noted, is just going to point at Trey'Dez Green and say, well, you can just do that in the offense. And look at that guy. He's going to go play in the league in a year, you know? And on the basketball side of things, again, I think that's an area where LSU will need to do some work, but I don't think they're going to be too hard pressed to necessarily sell him on playing for LSU basketball. So that's going to be the thing. Is it the best overall plan for his development so far that is on paper, or is it legacy and an opportunity to play with two established winning head coaches? That said, again, there's two established coaches on Nebraska's end, a winning coach in Fred Hoiberg that he likes a lot. So again, this is closer than I think some people nationally have made this out to be. At the same time, though, like, you can understand. I hope people understand. Like, this isn't a recruitment where Ahmad Hudson's not playing Nebraska fans or anything like that. This is a hard decision, and he's given Nebraska a lot of thought. And this is something where, for him now, it's going to come down to what matters most to him. And I don't think he's made that decision just yet. And we're going to find out in these next few weeks what matters most to him. Is it development? Is the overall plan for development? Or is it legacy, the opportunity to stay, again, to a partial extent, stay closer to home to his family, and put on for a program that he's, again, grown up rooting for?
TV, people, like the last handful of weeks, I keep hearing ROI, rate of return and sustainability. I was telling one of the guys on social media, like, that's not really how ROI works. I explained how I thought we were using it incorrectly. I almost want to talk about like ROE, which is return on emotion, right? Because for folks that are giving money in this recruiting world, and we're talking about high schoolers, what do you think a return on emotion looks like? Are you competitive? Are you better than you have been? Are you playing for championships? I get it. It's individual to those that are giving the money. Some give freely and are like, hey, do with it what you will. But like, what do you think a sustainable return on emotion is? Is it relative to the school's success? Previous success, I should say.
I think it has to be.
I mean, does Texas Tech look at it different than Texas?
Yeah, that's the thing. Again, when you talk about it, like, on an individual basis, like Cody Campbell's whole mentality and that fan base's whole mentality is like, look, let's do something that's never been done before. So they're pumping money into the program. Whereas, I think a program like Nebraska, it's there's a little more caution because it's like, oh, we still need to see it. There's, and that's, we've heard this around here is, once this team puts something together on the field, the money will come, like all of that. And so it's like, okay, well, is that true? Do we still need to see it to believe it? Like, where are things at on that? I would say there has to be, for this thing to be sustainable as an overall sport, there has to be some relative return on emotion. There has to be some, well, this team looks improved, or this player, like, for example, let's say you're a guy who's like, like you're a booster, and you're like, oh, well, what did I help do in the 26 class? Oh, Danny Odom's here at Nebraska. Well, is he going to help Nebraska this fall? Jamal Rule's here at Nebraska. Is he going to help? And so you want to see the guys that that your investment hypothetically went towards produce. You want to see them produce. You want to see them like, okay, well, what did we get here? And so that's where you're seeing this kind of, there's not the same patience. I mean, like, you're seeing that right now at LSU, where it's like, well, we invested $40 million in this roster. What are we building up for? This is supposed to be the year. We're supposed to be ready to go and ready to roll this year. We'll see. As someone who's watched very closely the Sam Levitt experience, we'll see. I do like Sam, and he does fit very well with Lane, but we'll see. And I think that same thing, just across the country. And obviously I think there's an individual, and it's a case-by-case basis. The one thing I would say, though, I think, and it's worth keeping in mind, the return on evaluation at the NFL level is like right around 40, if not 45%. it's even worse at the college level. It doesn't matter how good of an evaluator you are. So that's where I'm like, I do wonder a little bit of like, how do teams, how do athletic directors, how do they communicate that to boosters who only see the money and only look at the results and don't look at anything in between? Because you want to be hitting, but no one hits consistently. No one hits 100.
See, the safest way to play that game, to take as many variables out of it, is you better sell what it is that you're after before you're asking for the dollars. And like, you have to set the parameters. Hey, listen, it's like Cuban talking about Signetti, where he says, you know, he didn't ask for a blank check. He asks for money because he's looking for these specific things. And I think letting people know ahead of time, hey, I hope this equates to wins, but it's really more about, and then you fill in the blank, and you're kind of operating with the same what it's supposed to look like. I think that's probably the answer, right? Because the more ambiguous you keep it, or the more abstract you keep it, and hey, you know, we hope this leans towards winning, or this definitely means that this guy's going to be playing early. The more you limit, you take out the results oriented part of it, I think the more sustainable it's going to be, if that makes sense. You just have to get people to understand the ideology.
Right. And that's the hard part, is you have to find people that fit your parameters of, from a financial sense of what you're looking for, that also understand what this looks like. And that's often tough, because a lot of those, again, they're in different spaces, and for them, like, return on investment doesn't always look like a 40% hit rate, you know? Like, and that's, someone put it best, but you have to view evaluation. Someone recently talked about the draft, but you have to view evaluation kind of like field goal percentage, if not like 3-point percentage. Like, it's about the hits you make, and not necessarily about, you know, the efficiency of them. And I'm going to be curious how some of these teams approach that, because I mean, we're hearing some of this already. We heard it from Alabama's GM recently. Like, the money keeps going up, and there's going to be a certain point where certain programs, I think, tap out or decide, you know, this isn't what we're in it for. They turn back to maybe you know, getting early on guys, evaluating, whatever that looks like, but like, or just setting a hard foot down and saying, hey, look, this is the cap we're spending. If you want to be here, come here. Like, something has to give at some point here soon. I'm just curious what gives.
You know, you hear some stories, right, where Sark at Texas has the one-time opportunity to talk about NIL, and then after that, it's not a broachable topic until the following year. Like, you wonder how much hay has to be in the barn for coaches that can set those parameters, or do they set the parameters early, like you should, knowing it may take a little time to produce the results, and just hope you have enough time to get there.
Yeah, and the thing is, like I said, knowing what I know about that Texas program and SAR, like they run that thing basically like the league now. Like, they pay a lot of especially their top end guys. They pay them enough where it's like, look, you don't really have anything to complain about. And then on top of that, you know, we're gonna give you these expectations as a championship player. You got to stand by these expectations, and everything's going to be gravy. And so, I think there's that difference, is the way it's been put between like Texas and Georgia, from like you look outside from like a discipline level. It's like, oh, why are there so many tickets coming out of Athens and not as many coming out of Austin? Even though, you know, feels like Texas is paying more guys, and all of that, is they run that program like a championship program. Meanwhile, at Georgia, I mean, no, they run that program like an NFL program. Georgia still runs it like a high level college football program, where these guys got a little bit of money, but not enough money where it's like, oh, I'm taken care of, I'm good, you know, whatever. Like, I'm good. There's still that, like, hey, I got a little money in my pocket, I can be a little reckless. It's kind of that mentality, versus at Texas, where it's like, you're a pro, you're here to be a pro, you're here to develop. We're going to make sure you're taken care of, but at the same time, we expect you to do this for us. And again, the guys they're taking care of are producing, you know, and when they're not, it gets handled. We saw it this offseason in the portal. It gets handled. So, like for them, you know, they invested big in Colin Simmons. That investment's paying off, and Colin Simmons is taking care of business on and off the field. Like, that for all sides feels like an investment that was very much worth it for them. I think same goes for Arch Manning, and same goes for Cam Coleman thus far.
Tim, with the NFL draft coming up here next week, is there, I know you I enjoy the talent evaluation kind of portion of this job. Are there some prospects either that you liked in high school that are kind of in a position now that you're interested to see where they go, or guys that maybe aren't getting enough run that you just really like the film on from college?
Yeah, there's a few. I need to pull up the names, but like, I mean, for me, this is going to be a fun draft because it's a bunch of guys from Texas and Texas A&M and all of that I covered. Malik Muhammad's a guy I love as a corner. Again, one of my favorite corner prospects to cover in college or cover in high school. Thought he had a pretty solid college career, even if he wasn't necessarily playing in the best position for himself. He's a guy who lives, I think, at best in like press and living up in the defender's face, living out on that island. Pete had him playing off. PK at Texas had him playing off a little bit. You saw him the adjustment to that and what that took out of him. I'm excited to see where he lands. I want him to be in a place where he gets to kind of live in man coverage a little bit. I'm really fascinated by this DB group and where some of these guys land. There's all kinds of different body types. I'm a big Chandler Rivers guy. I was a huge Chandler Rivers guy in high school. And I was a big Upton Stout guy last year. Both of those guys I'm convinced can play bigger than their frames and are capable of producing out, despite being relatively smaller DBs. Both those guys are going to push for really hard out of high school. One ended up in North Texas, one ended up at Duke. They both had very, very high, very productive college careers, and Upton's now with the 49ers. I think Chandler's got a good NFL career ahead of him as well. This defensive line group is interesting. There's a lot of outliers. I think this is the draft of outliers, and this is the draft of kind of tiers where, to certain degrees. Like, for example, I think somewhat Nebraska related, I think for guys that miss out on an Eli Stowers, there's a few teams I know interested in his, pass catching talent, and what he brings is like a extension of the pass game, kind of as a flexed out tight end. Guys that missed out, teams that missed out on him, I'm very curious. I think we'll circle back on Heinrich Haarberg either later in the draft or in free agency because their traits are very similar. And you have that across multiple levels. I think if you tier that above one more, I think the guys that are in on Kenyon Sadiq are also going to be in on Eli Stowers later in the draft. And the guys that miss out on both those guys, potentially later could be in on a guy like Heinrich Haarberg. I think there's a few of those in the running back room. The receiver group is weird.
That's a good outlier group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Like, it's like I think Cardinal Tate's super safe for me. Like, but I don't know if he's necessarily going to be your wide receiver one at the next level. I think he's great in a complementary role. Like, if you have an established guy and you want to build someone outside of him, I think that's the best spot for him, in my opinion. Jordan Tyson, I think, is a wild card just because of the injury stuff, but the tape's really good, and he plays his best against the best. So,
a guy like Tate is more polished coming out of Ohio State than McLaurin, and I don't think we thought very highly of McLaurin coming out, but we watched his productivity. So I think to your point, Tim, the passing game is so different. I was having this conversation with Severe yesterday, or whenever it was. We would lament a lot about number ones and boundary X's and guys like that. And I keep, my thing is with so many condensed sets and pre-snap motion, it doesn't really matter. Like, the guy just has to fit what you want to do offensively because he's going to get his targets, right? I mean,
right.
Drake London isn't a 1 in theory, but he has 95 catches, right? He's vastly different than an Amon-Ra St. Brown. If the draft came out over again and you had to watch Puka Nacua work out, the workout isn't going to match his productivity. Mm-hmm. Like, he's much, much better as an NFL player than clearly. I mean, he was a 5th round guy, right? That wasn't a miss. That was kind of, that eval was about right.
Mm-hmm.
It's how they use it's the utilization. So I the wide receiver thing is the one position I think we have to really, really recalibrate how we look at it. That and off-ball linebackers, I think, are the two positions where we kind of have to readjust traditional thinking.
I would say safety in the same regard, because I think the conversation on Caleb Downs has gotten way too overblown. Where
he said they took too much time to scrutinize him.
Yeah,
Like,
way too much. He's been over scouted. But that's the thing where it's like, again, hypothetically, yeah, safety is not a very valuable position relatively, but a guy like Caleb Downs is so valuable to your defense because he's not just he changes your defense. You build your defense kind of around a guy like that, and what he brings both as a run defender and in the pass game, yeah, he's he's so unique, and again, I just don't think he should be talked about in the same regard as some of these safeties. But yeah, like it's a really fun draft for I think for some of these where some of these tackles are going to land. I think, I don't know, man. I'm not super high on Caden Proctor. I just don't see, like, I'll let someone else. I'll let someone else, figure it out with the big Alabama offensive tackle.
I hope I'm wrong, Tim, but I said there's only 2 picks that would, where the Steelers pick, that would give me what, like, it'd be an issue, and it would be Ty Simpson if they reach there, or Caden Proctor. I think they're going to take an O-lineman. I mean, maybe Proctor doesn't get to 21, but I'm with you as one of the more, especially in a draft that has so many draft eligible grades for linemen. Like, it's a good draft to get good linemen later too. He's the ultimate boomer bust guy for me.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is just if you're on the board, and I was talking with Severe about this yesterday, but like if you're on the board and you have Proctor and Maxi and Nacho there, I'm taking Max. I'm banking on the athleticism. I'm banking on the guy, that is the better athlete, and I think still has an untapped ceiling to go. And there's some of that, I think, on the defensive line as well. Like I think I'm higher on guys like Tyler Onyedim, Grayson Halton, guys on the interior. But just find some guys that do the dirty work. Cade McDonald's a guy I love. I think he's going to get drafted lower than what I think his expected value is. He's one that I've seen, like, potentially lands with the Texans. That's a terrifying thought. Can you imagine that guy plugging up the interior of that Texans defense? Like, that's one thing they've been kind of missing is that kind of piece along the interior. And then one other take on my end, I think if you're drafting a linebacker for linebacker reasons, you go Sonny Styles. If you're drafting an edge, you go Reese. But if you're drafting a true linebacker and you're wanting a linebacker, I wouldn't take Reese. I would take Styles over Reese.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I agree. Sonny Styles is plug and play day one. And for as high as people want to take Reese, I get the upside. I get he's only 20. Played for Patricia, so he understands versatility. It just seems like there's too many best case scenario talks with him. Like, hey, if we do this, then it looks like this, or hey, if we put him here, then, like, there's these contingency things, and but you can't really deny his versatility. It's just sometimes you just want to. He had one game in which he had 5 or more tackles.
Yeah.
So even, and I was telling this to Severe, because we were going over this tapes that we watched this weekend of some stuff that the NFL was pumping out about his versatility, and they were making a case for Reese. And I was saying to Severe, I was like, even if you do 80 cut-ups, 80, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's minuscule. It's 5% of the total snaps that you're playing in the season. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
I don't know. You're going to get 650 snaps, even if you sit, right? If you play 15 games, you're going to see 75 snaps. That defense was elite. Maybe they weren't. Maybe they were seeing closer to 65.
I was going to say 60, if not 50.
45. It's like, I don't know. There's just so many times where you're thinking, I'll
say 45 put you at 675 for the season.
Like, get there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I don't know. He's intriguing, but again, being only 20, he's got youth on his side.
So here's my question.
And there's go ahead.
I was just sorry. You could if you're trying to draft an edge, and like, would you rather just have David Bailey, who can do it?
He scares me too. But
guys, no, I don't love Bailey. I don't love Bailey. I don't love Bailey at all. And like the thing with Reese, I think, is there's a question about the positional home with him. But he's a guy who I think there's a physicality and a violence on tape that I think it's going to like he'll need to figure it out, but it's going to come along. And like you listen to him talk too, he was talking about like a pass rush move, and he was like, "Oh, I just kind of pulled that out in practice. I didn't really know what I was doing." And he's like, "Now I know what the name of that is. Now I know what I'm doing, and I can like train that. But like, I just kind of did that in practice, and it worked." So like, he's clearly a guy who's still kind of figuring it out. But I think there's enough tools. It's weird. It feels like, can I make this comp weirdly? It feels like a couple cycles ago, he's the Anthony Richardson almost of edge rushers, where it's like all the tools are there. And you love the way the kid's wired, and all of this stuff is there, but it has to come together on the field. Now, the difference is, I think Reese has a lot more experience than Anthony Richardson did, and I also think he's not in position to take as many injuries. Well, knock on wood, goodness. Like I hope he, has the runway to start his career where he has the opportunity to develop and start figuring it out. But I think some of the offseason stuff from him has been encouraging. Brandon Jordan's a guy who's originally he trained a lot in Houston, so I'm pretty familiar with him. He's training with Brandon Jordan now and figuring out the passer stuff. So I'm higher on Reese just off the overall athleticism, the tape, and the physicality and violence he has on tape. But yeah, there's some of that for me with him where I'm just, I worry about falling into the same trap teams did with Isaiah Simmons and these guys that just don't really have a positional home. It's why I was a huge Harold Perkins guy in high school. Like I tell the story all the time. I was the first media member. Me and Nick Harris, my buddy down in Texas, were the first two media members to ever talk to Harold back before he became anything. And love the tape, love all of that. Like in high school, all of that. I don't know where he fits in at the next level. Truthfully, I've had this conversation with some people. I think he should genuinely consider going back to running back, which he played at a very high level in high school. He's not big enough to be an edge rusher. I don't think he reads it well enough to be a linebacker. I don't think he can fit in really at nickel at the next level either. Maybe that's the best spot for him potentially. He's like a nickel type role, but I don't know where Harold best fits. And that's one where it's like, okay, I would let someone else figure that out because there's a lot to do in that body and a lot to do with that athleticism. I just don't know where he fits. Same thing with AJ Halsey, who I was a huge fan of in high school. I tried to get him to like multiple schools. He ended up at New Mexico State, transferred up to Houston, and then transferred up to LSU. And it's like, look, LSU could have had him the whole time if they just listened, but whatever. Anyway, Halsey's a guy. He's a ball hawk, but I got excellent instincts. There's a couple of those guys in this draft. I think Halsey's one of them. Torian York's another one, where guys with elite instincts, and if you get them and talk about the game with them on the whiteboard, they'll blow you away. Both of them, I just worry a little too small for the next level.
That's our guy, Tim VERGHESE, Inside Nebraska. Tim, great stuff as always. Appreciate the time. We'll talk to you next week.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, T.
That is Tim VERGHESE from Inside Nebraska. Let's take a quick break. That's DBM Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
It's time to shift into spring at Edwards Chevrolet. Lease the 2026 Chevy Trax LT for just $319 a month, $0 down with your first payment due at signing, or save $2,500 off MSRP. Spring on these deals before they're gone. Drive away with more this April. Or lease the 2026 Chevy Silverado RST for just $579 a month, $0 down with your first payment due at signing, or save $9,000 off MSRP. Get to Edwards Chevrolet today. Together, let's drive.
Man, can't thank fans enough. Husker Nation's been great to Nebraska wrestling, and I can't thank all the fans enough for what they do for our team and our program, and just to pack that Devaney Center. I know my associate athletic director told me, Mark, we sold more concessions at Iowa Match than any other event at Devaney. Now, that was a shocker to me. So, we had some great crowds, and I think it's a testament to our guys that, how well they compete and just show their love for Nebraska, how they want to handle themselves, on and off the mat, and just what type of competitors they are, and they have pride in this. They have a lot of pride in this, and so I love it. It's blessed to coach these guys, and they represent Nebraska the right way.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. Reminding you, give our friends over at Next Gen Male Medical a call, 402-614-9700. It is the best place to go if you're not feeling your best. Make sure you get a little pick-me-up, be able to run 20 miles an hour so you can keep up with DB's car in the parking lot. Maybe get some healing peptides so that when Rico tries to keep up and tears his hamstring off the bone, you can get that fixed up as well. My guy, almost tore his Achilles trying to race little kids at the College World Series last year. He needs some of that TB 500.
Rico did?
Oh, yeah, man. Last year he's like racing little kids up a hill, like pulled the calf on the first one. I was like, oh, that thing's gonna
shut her down.
That thing's gonna pop, and he just kept doing it, and I was like, oh my god,
I didn't know that, Suave.
Yeah, he's a little dicey out there, but he was all right. Maybe he went to Next Gen before we even knew about it. Kept that thing on the bone there, but they are the best place if you're not feeling your best. 402-614-9700. It's Next Gen Male Medical. How we doing, DB?
Good.
Doing all right?
Yeah.
Doing okay?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to the baseball series. That's what I'm really looking forward to.
I know you'll be watching that tonight. I'm probably gonna watch the NBA. I'll probably I'll have to at least check in on the baseball. But I got some hoops to watch.
I don't understand why you'd be all in on the NBA tonight.
Well, I just got see my guy, Wardell.
Do you have a team of interest that's playing tonight?
Maybe.
So it's you and Team Padilla.
Yeah. I think we're not gonna. The group chat might not be active tonight. Don't necessarily.
It's been a little slow when Maddie is not active.
It's true.
It slows down a little.
It is. He's kind of he's what I would call the primary ball handler, maybe the offensive initiator of the group chat. Some people call that
is he between 6 foot and 6'4"?
Some people call that a point guard. You can call it whatever you want.
Again, more douchiness this week from you. That was incredible.
Are you gonna push back if I call Maddie the point guard of our group?
No pushback. He is the offensive facilitator
and primary ball handler too. Or?
He facilitates the offense.
Initiates.
He does. He's an initiator.
I think he's a little under 6 foot. Just a smidge, though.
That's all right. Did you hear the bit where John Cook said that he called Troy Dannon about the flag football job?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Coach Cook wanted to coach the flag football team.
So that's not like totally shocking, right?
No,
because
of his affinity for football.
Well, and he came up coaching high school football in California, right? And I think he said when this was a couple years ago, I think when he spoke to the football team, when Coach Rule had him in, I think he talked about how he always assumed he'd end up back at football somehow. And obviously that never happened. So that's not totally stunning.
That is ballsy.
It's a little.
Hey, guess what? I think it's funny.
Well, there's a part of me, and I'm sure Coach Sowers is Sowers or Sowers. I'm not sure.
Sowers.
Sowers.
Oh, yeah, San Fran. Sowers.
Sowers, yeah.
I believe.
I'm not 100%
just
sure.
had her sister.
I'm not 100% sure. But, like, obviously, terrific hire, one of the most qualified people in the country for this.
How it lands the plane in Lincoln. Remember when it was first a thing, when she was with the 49ers, it was like, wait.
Yeah. That was a big deal. Is this a bit? Like, or not a bit, but like, is this like
is this a stunt?
Yeah, stunt. That's the word I'm looking for.
And then she just
no, I mean, coach knows football, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
and they're gonna be good.
And like I said, probably one of if not the most qualified person in the country for this job. Like terrific hire. But there is a part of me that would like to see an experiment like that. Because obviously Coach Cook is elite at the like culture building and personality management and like all the other things about coaching.
I want to see him X's and O's.
I just want to see like how much it's
a different game.
No, I know. But
like it's
but that's why I like the idea of it, right? Because it's like, I mean, it's I know you didn't watch Ted Lasso, but like it's sort of the Ted Lasso philosophy of like, hey, all of this stuff matters the most. You can hire assistants that know the game. Like, I wonder if that actually would work. And I get it's probably too high stakes of a thing to try that out on, but you kind of like, you used to see it in high school a lot. Like one of Evan, his father-in-law ended up becoming one of the best boys soccer coaches in like Illinois. Like he's in the Hall of Fame, like in Illinois high school history, like phenomenal boys soccer coach. He was, I believe, a wrestler coming up. I don't think he'd ever coached or barely seen soccer in his entire life. It was one of those things. He's a teacher, and it's like, well, they need a soccer coach, and I need 2 extra.
And that is an HOFer?
Yeah, he's literally like just learned the game and became like his son ended up being a really good soccer player at like Wheaton, I think. Like so, like you kind of see it sometimes in high school where like the culture and the personality of the guy is enough to
Paul Johnson.
Yeah, to take over something and make it really, really good.
Never played,
right? I mean, same thing with like Mike Leach. Mike Leach never played.
Yeah.
You know, I believe Mangino also. There was this group of guys that never played back in about 10 years ago. But like, I just wonder how much, like, if that actually would work.
Did you see what Chuck said? I have got to know Chuck. I rock with Chuck. Chuck says Coach a lot of things I like. Then he drops a Coach Frank reference. But that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now he's you ever see? No, you clearly haven't. He can flat out swing it too.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Even for a little guy.
He looks like a guy that can.
I shouldn't say little guy. He'd be pissed.
He'll beat you up.
Yeah, he'd want to fight. Yeah. I used to. So, and he was because Jay used to do work out at the Knolls, you know, in the summer.
Yeah.
And I'd see him out there with the golf team.
Yeah.
When he was at Westside, and like and that's what he does now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I mean, how
many guys are just rolling in a Masters hat and the Steelers garb, right? It's
that's true. That's true.
Not a care in the world, not a matching thing on there. You don't care. You're doing this thing.
But like I do wonder how much because I mean, in terms of like a culture builder, it's hard to find probably a better one than Coach Cook.
Yeah.
You know, like I do wonder how much that translates to across sports, even
and a young Kent Pavelka.
No, that's John Baylor. Come on, man.
Well done. I'm just
trying to help you out. Obviously, you're struggling with the faces. You know,
it's tough. I never know who I want to bring in.
Where's the foul?
So I'm guessing Orlando tips first, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, East Coast, right? It's Hornets and Magic.
Yeah, that's a 6:30.
And it's not on the cock, it's on Prime, right? It's Prime. It's
yes,
Prime.
Yeah, they're both all the plans are in Prime.
Yeah. Well, I'll be watching baseball at the same time.
I'll double up. I'll double those up. You know, we'll get a little baseball in there.
So
what channel's Nebraska?
Zoe has softball, but she might be at a sleepover.
How's she hitting it?
Oh, Zoe, she's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's playing volleyball now too, so
I always
Shane. Guess who Zoe's coach is?
I don't know.
One Darcy Willie.
Oh, nice.
And I know if you want me to invite you to come watch YMCA volleyball, you can say hi to Darcy.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
If he makes an appearance, I don't know if she'll be out there again. She was at
Come on, man.
She was at Pinnacle last year.
She was at the Jet Awards too.
Oh, I didn't see her at Jet Awards. Yeah, she was at Pinnacle. She was in our tent last year in the chalet.
I know, I saw her.
Yeah.
Well, she was working. She was
Epic for girls.
Yeah, volunteer. Yeah, doing Epic.
Yeah, why it didn't surprise me that she was coaching volleyball.
Yeah, her daughter's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I struggle with this in a couple sports. Although do they lower the net in volleyball?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
And they do the one rotation at a time. Go to the bench. Come on, serve. Move down. Go up.
Everybody moves a spot each point.
Yeah. Which
we used to do that in gym class.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like I like it.
I always wonder about that because I don't think I've ever seen like little kid volleyball before.
It's the first for me.
I've seen it in basketball, and obviously the hoops get a little bit lower. But I was trying to imagine like 6 and 7-year-olds like trying to get the ball over the net. I was like, how's that gonna work?
Hey, see this guy right here?
What do we got? What comment?
Right here. Be careful of that guy. That's the Brian that I always talk about.
Long time, first time. What's up, Brian? How we doing?
Here. I'm writing it down what he does.
Okay.
What's that?
You're gonna know right away. I'm not gonna put him on blast.
Are we? I know you talked about this the couple, and we got to get to Mike here in a couple minutes. But
Mike Sautter.
Mike Sautter. I'll be honest. Okay, yeah. All right. I read that wrong for a second, but no, I got it.
Well, I wrote like a 4-year-old.
Well, so I think I've run into him.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yep. All right. Carry on.
You were talking about the Regents and the Memorial Stadium plans. It sounds like
today.
Sounds like there might be some things in the works there.
Yeah. Listen, it's such a tough. It's a tough deal.
It's there's the thing that people are going to like the most is probably going to be the least cost effective in terms of trying to fix up the stadium and have it be
the reduction.
That's probably the least cost effective thing to do, but it is probably the only publicly palatable thing to do.
And you want to find new revenue streams, so you have to invest a little money here 1st, right? If you're going to do the bananas, you've got concerts, you've got. I get it as a necessary. I mean, you have to play the game.
Yeah, that's what it is now.
You have to play the game. So we'll see what comes out of the Regents meeting with, allotted monies and the resources. And listen, I said this the other day, and I wasn't trying to sound like a Richard head, but as of up to this point, it's not the tax. It's not my money.
No, right? Yeah.
So.
Until then, I don't really care that much.
I'm not sure what kind of opinion I'm supposed to have on it.
Well, and that's, I think, why we got into the emotional investment versus actual investment. Because most of the people that are, I'll use the term complaining about ROI, are not the ones footing the bill.
Yeah.
99% of the time, right? Like,
and
that's fair.
you've clearly decided you want to open up new revenue streams for the venue.
Yeah.
I see the big picture for sure.
Yeah,
T-Mac, you can only serve 3 times in a row. If you have 3 good serves in a row, you're done. So you can't dominate. From
you can't have like a ringer.
No.
Interesting.
Yep.
I gotta be honest. That doesn't sound appealing at all. That sounds terrible.
It is I like it because it's right where even though she was one of the ones that had 3 serves in a row, but she likes it, and now she gets to play with somebody she knows. I'm hoping to get her over that.
Yeah.
Like, stop wanting to play with your friends. Like, take some chances. But she's 7, so I should probably slow down with that, right?
You'd probably be all right.
But yeah, I like the setup. It's very. Yeah, he said, "Oh wow." Yeah, he said, "Oh, I know." Yeah, that's right. He does know. Duh.
I gotta say that youth sports are hard to watch, man.
Oh, you should have sat with me and Micah. You're the same person,
man.
You guys are the same person.
I know. That's why he's my boy.
Kind of a tough hang.
No, Micah's not a tough hang.
But
youth
sports, yeah.
Yes. incredibly tough.
I think it's fascinating.
There's an age at which it kind of switches, and
it keeps me sane so I can get off the gas sometimes.
She is not at that age yet. We'll be right back. Mike Sautter joining us from Hurrdat Sports and NAB Preps.
It's time to shift into spring at Edwards Hyundai. Lease the 2026 Hyundai Kona SE all-wheel drive starting at just $179 a month. Shift into spring for less. Spring on this deal before it's gone. Drive away with more this April or save up to $7,000 off MSRP on the 2026 Hyundai Palisade XRT Pro. Don't wait. Shift into a fresh deal this spring at Edwards Hyundai.
Yeah, again, it just was good to have that exact type of game. I mean, I would have loved to have cashed in on some of those chances and kind of run away with the game, but we just kind of needed to feel that one-run battle, being on the right side of that, making big pressure plays, pressure pitches. It was great to be on the right side of another midweek win, and we did it with pitching and defense and timely hitting. You do all three, you usually win. Well, you lose the midweek games then. I mean, so there's only so many midweek games to go around, opponents, quality opponents, where we can get to 56, so that would probably make our 6 games a year. You know, I don't know that anybody wants to do that. I certainly don't. But it's a great rivalry. We've had really competitive games back and forth. I'm not opposed to a three-game series, but that's kind of the logistics behind the 3-game series, and you lose maybe a potential for 3 games on the midweek.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Mike Sautter.
Yeah.
Mike Sautter.
Oh, man, you're going to put me on the spot.
Mike Sautter.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Mike Sautter from Hurrdat Sports and NAB Preps. Mike, what's going on, man? How we doing?
I'm good.
Is that okay? Can you confirm or deny that is an actual photo of your lawn?
That's an actual photo of my lawn, yes.
That is sensational. You are such a child. You are such a child. That green is spectacular.
Those are good lines.
I'm pretty close. And here's the thing, too, Sautter, not to nitpick, because I get lawn advice from you. So this is like me. This is like Luke talking to Yoda. I do need a couple of more cuts because the grass is so uneven now with how it grows back. You need like 2 or 3 more mows before those lines will be as crisp as they're going to be.
Yeah, that photo right there is I put the broom on and on the back of the lawnmower to stripe it up. So excited to see it today in the sun.
Oh, God.
Sun.
So my neighbor said, like 6 minutes apart from the texts.
That's my backyard. That's my backyard right there in the middle. That's striped up.
That's got to be Austin or Rico.
So they're in cahoots. That's funny. That is hilarious. He said the exact same thing about the idiot proof thing. And I had to reread it because I didn't know if he was talking about me, but I was like, oh, wait a minute. Sautter just said the same thing. Like, so that's actually what it's called, huh?
Yeah, you just come on down to the grass pad and get you the idiot proof, or yeah, just get that system. Just buy the 5 bags, whatever, for the whole year. And you're good. Like,
That's a great green. That is a great green.
They put the actual like dates on the bag when you should use it. It's literally idiot proof. Like you could totally do it.
I was like, hey, I need a spreader. Do you want to come by? I was joking. He's like, sure. I was like, whoa. Did you really volunteered to do something?
Yeah, if you want me, yeah, easy.
He loves doing yards though. That's the thing. Like, it's like, yeah, I'm doing something nice. But he's like, I got to do some yard stuff. I'm already done with mine.
What a
more yard stuff.
Wackadoodle.
If you need me to help you, I'm more than willing to help. You just got to tell me.
You're like your yard's about how I am with condiments in my refrigerator. It's got to be a certain way. I get it.
Correct. Yeah.
All right. How are we feeling about Nebraska and the portal, man? I think pretty good up to this point, right?
Are you? I don't know. Like, I'm.
Are you waiting this weekend?
No news is good news or bad news. Which one?
I'm hoping it's good news. I could just be the eternal optimist, though.
So, this is kind of, I guess, what I have a good feeling of, if you will, at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So Elijah Perriman, the Utah State transfer, he was a guard. He was one that they targeted early. He's out. He's gonna likely end up back at Cincinnati if he hasn't announced that already. So that name is a wash. Everyone is waiting. Nebraska fans are waiting for Drew Fielder, which I feel like he's going to go to Washington. So maybe
I'm not I wasn't even counting Fielder. I'm not counting Fielder in at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, but that one's like got the most buzz as far as a name is concerned. So I would think that would like that one's probably gone. So then they, pivoted pretty quickly and hard to Bowden Koepke, who sounds like that's probably going to be in.
Mm-hmm.
I would expect that sometime soon to happen. It sounds like that one's done. The Boston College transfer big. He shot 33% from 3, which is fine for a 5-man. Has good footwork, is kind of a tougher kid. He's from Minnesota, so there's a little bit of that, if you will, local, regional, conversation. Yeah, he's only a 70%? 70% free throw shooter, so that's not great. But his effective field goal percentage was 481st in the country, which is a positive, if you will. So tough kid, kind of, slate him in to be the 5 if it ends up finally, getting over the hump, if you will. So then you're looking at like, what are we waiting for the, you got to have some guards and, because you got the wings back. You feel good about that. Who's the guards? Well, Trevin Lenhart would be great, I think. Yes, he's slightly built and all that stuff, but he can kind of stat stuff a little bit. I do like him. I think it'd be a really nice fit for Nebraska if that kind of gets over the hump. He visited Arizona State, was that yesterday, finished his visit there yesterday. And he's the Utah Valley State, 6'5" guard. So it's going to feel a lot different. And then Tyreek Coleman is the other guard, if you will, that would be kind of that Jamarcus Lawrence role, but a lot faster with the ball. Really fast with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, he's a go-by guy.
Yeah, and so that guy can get to the rim and kind of make plays, get past defenders and all those things. So sounds like he was supposed to take a Utah State visit, but canceled that, and then feels like it's probably between Nebraska and Iowa there for him. So that's basically where everything's at. There's Nick Janowski name, as a coming back to Lincoln guy. Don't think that's happening. I think both sides, I don't even think there's been really much of a conversation there from both sides. Sounds like he's probably leaning Davidson at this point.
So, Mike, if Nebraska, let's say they land those three guys you talked about, Bowden Koepke, Trevon Lenhart, and Tyreek Coleman. They land those three guys. Obviously, you got Sam Orm in the mix as well at that point. That would be 4-man transfer class. You feel good about that, where they are, and cool moving forward?
Yeah, I feel you feel good about it. You don't feel awesome about it because you struck out, right, on like Fielder. This is like the third time they've tried to get him and it hasn't worked. So like, what do we keep going back to the same, thing for? So, and while they were messing, waiting around, whatever with Fielder, they lost a guy like Trayson Anderson to Butler. So, which would have been a nice piece to have, right? Like Trayson's local kid, all that stuff would have been a nice piece. So then you're like, at that point, if it's just those four, then you're looking at, Leo Curtis, and hopefully he can develop even more than what he already has. And he's probably your backup 5, if you will. So there's another name, Caden Betts from Montana. Didn't play a lot last year for Montana.
Betts that probably needs a mention.
Yeah, due to injury, I guess he didn't play a lot. He's probably more in that bench guy, come off the bench role guy. Is that like a backup E4? Probably more in that Justin Bolus role, but maybe, probably could maybe give you a little bit more than that. So that's basically where we're at. Berke Butenjo obviously is not coming back. Sounds like Texas Tech or Vandy actually for Berke.
Yeah, Vandy would be interesting.
Well, they played against him, so they
could. Vandy would be interesting, and it was one of his better games.
Yeah.
So I feel like they have can't beat him. Join us.
Yeah, might want that guy.
The whole Berke thing is, I've had obviously a lot of conversations about him and him leaving and stuff, and I think that two things can be true, or you kind of put the truth in the middle, if you will, of the two sides. There's a side that said Nebraska told them they didn't want him. Well, I don't believe that to be the case. But there's also the side that like he wants $3 million. I don't know if that's true either. I think it's probably somewhere in the middle. And I think the truth is that Nebraska said, hey, we want you back, but at this price. And his representatives, or his side of it was no, we want this price, which is a lot more. And Nebraska just held their ground on their price, I believe. So,
hey, Jerome, what'd you learn last week with such a competitive tournament at the Frank Ryan?
Oh, baseball. I learned that West Side is hungry as far as a team and hungry to win, and hasn't won in a couple years. And Coach Shockey's done a tremendous job there in year one. It's not like they didn't have players.
All the Shockeys.
Well, the players and the coaches.
It's like they do the announcements before the game, and it's like Shockey and Shockey and Shockey and Shockey.
4 of them. So, and Jason obviously is the head coach, and Kurt, his dad, is helping. If you know anything about high school baseball, Kurt Shockey is the name that has been. He was
thorn in my side.
Yeah, he was the high school baseball coach at Ralston when I went there, and Jason was a year younger than me at Ralston, and was a good player there. So,
did I tell you, Sautter? I told we went into Nebraska's High School Hall of Fame together, and I told him that I would like special thanks for padding his stats that allowed him to produce the state record run that he went on. Yeah, they were a menace.
They were really good for a long time. So they've just brought back this kind of winning mentality to West Side, I think. And I will tell you, like the Lincoln East game, the semifinals of the Frank Ryan was it like they put it on Lincoln East, and that's hard to do. So Lincoln East baseball is pretty dang good right now, and just their energy in the dugout, their all of those things was a super positive for them. So this weekend, the Metro tournament is going to be very interesting for baseball. I guess it started last night in earnest, if you will. So the quarterfinals are today, semis are tomorrow, and then the finals slated for a very cold and likely windy 3:00 baseball game tomorrow at 3 in the finals. And that, you have like Bellevue West has won some big games here too coming down the stretch. So like beat Miller West, I believe was that yesterday, and then beat Elkhorn North last week in the Papio invite. So that's maybe a team to look out for a little bit, kind of finding their footing, if you will, with a new coach this year. But Miller North's good, Elkhorn South's good. Miller South can get you. So you're depends on who Elkhorn South is throwing. If it's Gendra pitching, then they're definitely in the conversation. So you're, but I guess if you're looking at who can win the Metro Tournament baseball title, you're probably slating the top 2 seeds in the West Side of Miller North to play again, which they just played last week in the Frank Ryan Invite final. So, we'll see.
Mike, where would you draw the lines for tiers in Class A or in baseball? Is it
that's a good one?
Is it obviously Lincoln East, West Side? Do you draw the line there and then Miller North? Like where do you separate out the groups?
No, I put Miller North is in that conversation of that upper tier for sure.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think probably there's like 5, 6 teams that you could make a case to win it all. But I do think Lincoln East, Miller North, West Side are the kind of 3 that have separated themselves at this point. Mm-hmm. Prep is in that next group as well. Elkhorn South, Miller South, Lincoln Southwest is probably in that group too.
So Southwest is interesting. What did you expect seeing them last week with everybody else? I mean, because that was like the top, was it 6 or 7 wild card points leaders? Top 7 wild card point leaders were all in that tournament.
Yeah. I saw them actually play, was it Lincoln East 2 weeks ago before that. So they have a nice team. Scoring runs for them is, finding offense is a little bit hard for them, depending obviously on who they're playing. But against better teams, finding ways to manufacture runs is probably a little bit harder. They're not bad. They're right there in that conversation. It's just about depth of pitching. That's baseball, obviously. So Lincoln East has that, West Side has that, Miller North has that. So that's why you kind of go to those teams and look at them and be like, okay, they're probably better.
Mike, as you're talking about depth of pitching specifically, and kind of the way they get these little previews with these tournaments, right? Whether it's Frank Ryan or Metro or whatever, but the way that the state tournament plays out, like, I assume you value the teams with the depth of pitching maybe more so than teams that have other strengths that could outweigh that. Like if a team's depth of pitching is like a B+, that maybe outweighs a team that hits at like an A-.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Just because you're so many games, especially if you lose the first one in the state tournament, it's really hard to come back and make your way back to the state final. And I will say this: a couple years ago we did the NSA changed to that winner take all game for a state championship. I love that, and it gives a day off because it's likely Saturday, and then Monday's the final. So you have that day off so you can kind of reset your pitching for that game, if you will, maybe. So I love that idea. And I think that totally helps. And the environments have been fantastic. I will never, ever, ever forget that Millard South, Millard West game with the Cam Kozel grand slam over the
score of the week last week too.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been able to hit. I mean, that dude, Jesus. I will never forget that home run, like ever. And they lost the game, but because Tauber hit that line drive over the left field fence, but him hitting that grand slam to like in the bottom of the sixth or top of the seventh, bottom of the sixth, top of the seventh, I believe it was, to give them a lead was like, wow. And no one ever found that baseball. So.
Yeah, I just remember his performance against us when we had to beat them in overtime in football, and we could not get that dude to the ground.
It's weird how like guys like so you have guys like him, the Millard South, like guys like him and Gage Stengers and like even Antrell Taylor to a degree, just those multi-sport guys that you'll always kind of remember those guys for what they did just as multi-sport athletes, like different things. Like Kozel was a really good quarterback, high school quarterback. He was a good high school quarterback because he could.
I love Stenger too, so I'm glad you brought him up. Nebraska took him with them to the bowl game. Like he's back lifting. He looks good. He had the knee done. Like I'm a huge Gage Stenger guy.
While we're on that with in-state guys and Nebraska, it was good to see that Coach Wade made his round, or Dvorak, I guess, made his rounds in the Metro and in Lincoln this week.
Yeah,
because I feel like it needed to happen, and that's whether that's we like to get you to camp. Conversations.
That's part of it, though. Like, nobody's above that.
No, yeah, you shouldn't be. But like, it's whether it's those or it's actual real interesting kids, it doesn't matter. Coaches in Nebraska just want to feel like they actually, that the school in Lincoln actually knows who they are and cares about them. So
I just had to have that conversation with Micah. It's like, I'm not sure what we're expecting, but I don't know, man. That shouldn't need to be said, right? Because we have seen them offer guys at camp, and we kind of know the stance about wanting to see it with their own eyes. Now, whether we make that about whether they win enough or not, let me know who else is recruiting you. I guess across the board for guys that have those criticisms. That's just me.
Yeah, some of those conversations, which everyone does that. Every coach that comes, like, they want you to go to their camp. Like, they want you to go to camp. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, some of those players, you're probably like, I don't know, like Wisconsin offered me and Kansas State offered me and all these other places offered me. Like, but I still have to go to your camp to get one. Like, that's how I would think if I was a player. So but hey, maybe it's just like, all right, I'm going to show you that I can do it. So
yeah, I'm pretty consistent with that. I said it. I told Caleb the same thing. Like, sometimes people want to see it with their own eyes. Like, it doesn't matter what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
Or your 15 other, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Sometimes people want to see it with their own eyes. I don't have any problems with that. So I really don't care who the school is. It just happens to be that we're talking about Nebraska. But if somebody wants to see something in person, I don't have any qualms with that.
Yeah, if that's how they do their business, it's how they do their business. Other places don't do it that way, and that's okay. Like it's no big deal.
I just don't think and I again, this is probably closer to home for me, but I don't understand the difference between like if Michigan State comes in and says, "Hey, come camp," or Nebraska comes in and says, "Hey, come camp." What's the difference?
There shouldn't be really a big
difference. Should we be cool because Nebraska's closer or what?
Yeah, I think that there's a sentiment that thinks that, hey, I'm right down the street. Like, you should just already know who I am. You should already have seen me, all of those things. So why should I have to come to your camp? I think there's some of those conversations and sentiment. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I think people think that based off of conversations I've had. But yeah, I mean, there shouldn't really be a difference. If you're right, like I agree with you, but I also think there is that little piece of like, hey, like, man, I'm right here. Like I'm 35, 40 minutes away if I live in, Omaha from your campus, and you should already know who I am and you should have already seen me and all of those things.
Fair.
What if it's not really about like the actual camp? Like, what if it's about, hey, are you willing to do the things we ask you to, and how bad do you want to be here? Like, what if that, like, is that plausible?
Yeah, like come show us that you actually want to be here. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that either.
A lot, right? Like that's the thing they've talked about a lot as a coaching staff is getting guys that want to be here. What if that's just a real easy litmus test of, like, yeah, hey, this is a pretty easy thing we're asking you to do. It's it's 45 minutes away for the Omaha kids. Like, just show me that you want to be here a little bit, and then we can talk.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that either. Again, on the other side of it is like, I look back to last year's that class or that cycle last year, and some of those guys were like, I got this offer, this offer, this offer, this offer, this offer, whatever it may be. You guys haven't. Why do I have to come to your camp when all these other people think I'm good enough? So that's the conversation. That's what the conversation was. So that's it. Like I see both sides of it. Yes, very much so being Switzerland on this thing. So I don't know. People probably have a problem with me not taking a side on it, but I don't really care.
Well, I don't think they have grass like that in Switzerland, Sautter. So I think you're doing okay.
I was gonna say something else. They probably have
different kind of grass.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say that part, but I'll let people have there.
Mike, appreciate the time. We'll talk to you next week. Have a good one.
Yeah, hopefully there's some more portal news because that hasn't been busy at all for me the last 2 weeks. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, Nebraska.
Hey, what have you heard on Jaden Jackson?
Not a lot, to be honest. Like some Summit schools are very interested. I know Omaha would, if he wanted to be at Omaha, they'd give that one a go. I think. Did hear like an Orr Roberts
they do have to replace their leading scorer.
Yeah, I did hear like an Orr Roberts is in that conversation there, maybe two. So not a ton.
Gotcha.
But I don't mind like what they did so far. And Harry Bukinga from Drake, kind of just a dunker spot guy. Like he's just, rebound dunker guy. They like those kind of guys. And then the DK Thompson kid from Texas State, he's a Jinx, Oklahoma guy. Go Trojans. That's where I grew up, by the way. And he's a nice player, was injured last year. He played for oh gosh, why can't I think of it right now? 3SSB out of Texas, yellow, gray team. Delton Deal. I know the coach that coached him in AAU. Used to be the York College coach, actually. So he really liked him and good shooter and stuff. And then they have this Cole Farrell kid from Long Beach State coming in for a visit too. That's also a place that keep an eye on Justin Bullis there.
So for a landing spot?
For to go to Omaha. Yeah. Like there's other people involved with Justin Bullis too, but I think he'd be a great fit at Omaha. That's just my opinion.
Interesting. Hey, Jerome, did you send any nice warm regards to Coach Miles for him going into the South Dakota's Hall of Fame?
I actually text him. He texted me about a player. Was it earlier this week? So I haven't talked to him yet. I did see that.
Yeah, send him a congratulatory text.
Yeah, it wasn't as an athlete. I know that.
Wow.
Hater. Yeah. Tim, obviously everyone likes Tim Miles, but he's
won a lot of games up there.
Yeah, he did. He's a unique individual, good person, nice guy to me anyway. He was.
Yeah.
Don't put that crap on me
as well. All right, buddy.
I should say that more. Tim. Thank you, Shane. I should say that. Don't put that crap on me. I didn't say that.
What if that crap is on you, Mike?
Well, if crap's on me, then we got a problem. Like the bird crap that happened to me last year. That's probably an issue.
Yeah, you got to
don't put that crap on me.
You got to make sure Jet has everything picked up before you get in that grass, right? That's the kind of crap you don't want on you.
Hey, I don't have.
I'm the one that picks that up in the grass. So yeah,
I don't have a cherry eye to deal with, but I do have an eye ulcer that we're dealing with.
Oof.
He's got an inflatable cone and drops and worrying about it getting ruptured. He's down to 17 pounds. It's not good in the old Benny household.
Struggle bussing.
Hey, that dog loved me, by the way, the other day.
He's the OG. Yeah. He's the OG.
All right, Mike. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.
Let's take a quick break. That's DBM Ravi Lulla. Hurrdat Sports Live.
It's time to shift into spring at Edwards Nissan. Lease the 2026 Nissan Rogue Platinum starting at just $349 a month. Shift into the ride you've been waiting for. Spring on this deal before it's gone. Drive away with more this April. Or lease the 2026 Nissan Pathfinder SV, a third-row SUV, starting at just $399 a month. Don't wait. Shift into a fresh deal this spring at Edwards Nissan.
Yeah, so this spring I feel like I am playing a lot of back row in practices. So I know I did that in the season some last year, but I feel like this spring we're really deep diving on it. So that's been really fun. I think also just being older and what comes naturally with being encouraging on the court, being a leader in that sense. So I think that too. Yeah, for Friday, I think we're just excited to go out there and give it our all. I think it will be a really good way to see how our connections have grown since this spring or during the whole spring. So yeah, I'm just excited to see us all flow together and how that's gonna work. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be packed and there's gonna be a lot of blue in there. And I think that's gonna be what's really exciting about it because we're a really big Husker state, I feel like. So having the chance to have it on our own court is really special to see our own fans a little bit more.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. Don't forget, whether you want to watch Nebraska baseball this weekend, whether you watch the NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill has you covered. They have, they make sure they got Big Ten Plus. They make sure they got all the different channels and Prime and all these other things so that you can watch whatever game you want while having some delicious food and drink over at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill in La Vista. So make sure you go check them out and get your sports game watching right. Sports watching game right? Sports, I don't know. Something like that. Get your game right at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill.
I'm trying.
Trying?
Yeah.
What are you getting?
What is Friday special?
That's a good question.
God, I think I'm not going to probably eat out, but I don't think, unless it's super cheap somewhere.
Oh, let's see what we got here. Ooh, sports bar specials. What do we got?
Yeah, what do we have? Friday's got a day.
Daily specials. Ooh, that's the Hale Varsity Burger meal for just $12.
$12.99, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right.
I think that gets you that's the meal, so you can get your fries and your drink too. That's a good deal.
I don't need the fries.
Well, you could give them to somebody else in your house.
Tots.
Oh, the tots are good. The tots are good.
Mikey likes it.
Tots are.
I usually go tots.
Yeah. How about this? So did you see the price tag with the stadium renovation?
I did. Yeah, $600 million.
And they've got the renderings out too.
Yeah, I just saw that. Came out about 10, 15 minutes ago. It looks like. Yeah, I mean, that Game Dog and I don't agree frequently, but I do think the most cost-effective way to achieve the desired result is probably to build a new stadium. And people don't want that, and that's fine. I think for the large part, the people don't want that. But if you're just talking about being efficient with dollars, I think that's the best option.
Yeah.
I really do. And I get the history of the stadium and everything. It's just there are certain infrastructure issues with a 100-year-old stadium that's going to be really hard to achieve the things you're trying to. Even from a standpoint of, we understand how much money was made off of, alcohol sales this year, right? Not having the number of just establishments that you can easily go to cuts down on your revenue, even from something simple like that, right? We're not talking about all the luxury boxes and all the high-end stuff. I'm talking about
some of the stuff is non-sexy.
Yeah, there's some things that are really, really
that
simple.
They'll have to fit, yeah.
And part of it is, and this is a thing that doesn't get talked about a lot when making money because Nebraska sells out anyway, and so the tickets are sold, and this part doesn't really matter. But long term, you do have to make sure you're creating a fan experience that isn't so cumbersome that you don't want to go.
Yeah, but where would you put a new stadium?
I mean, it wouldn't be anywhere near downtown. I mean, there's nowhere to put it. Honestly, the best place is probably outside Waverly, and you could have as much parking as you wanted, and people would hate it. I understand that. People would lose their minds. But if you're talking about just practicality of the situation, it's a little closer to Omaha where your biggest population base is, and you could put parking garages, and you wouldn't have to worry about finding places to park or whatever. And I imagine the land is relatively cheap out there as opposed to trying to buy that much space in downtown Lincoln or within a city. I think there's legitimate options on how to do this in a way that would be really beneficial for what they're trying to accomplish. You lose the downtown stadium in terms of, the location and proximity to everything. So I get that would be a concern, but I'm not even saying you have to demolish the stadium or anything. You could use it for other things. You could turn it into partially a museum of sorts. You could still work out there. Is that a good use of space or money? I don't know, but I'm not saying you have to demolish it, but I do think spending $600 million on a 100-year-old stadium is tough. And you probably still can't accomplish everything you want to. That's the hard part.
I think the old State Fair site, DJ, has hotels. Isn't that where the Scarlet and all that is?
Captain says Ravi, Game Dog, and myself all agree on something. Is hell freezing over? It might be, man. I don't know. It's tough though. It's a tough. I've said this for when Trev initially put out his plans, however many years ago. It's a really tough proposition to spend that much money on a stadium that probably can never, just from a structure standpoint, give you exactly what you want out of a stadium. for modern times. Like that's a really tough proposition to me to be like, hey, we're going to spend over $500 million and it's still not going to be exactly what we want. It's just the best we can do with the current structure.
Well, I think the more interesting thing is, and I talked about this yesterday with Kyle, is, I mean, you have $250 million from donor money going to the stadium project.
Yeah,
be pretty cool for roster acquisition too, right? So it's like
that could help.
It's just it's
what do you want to spend the money on?
It's a very unique dynamic that I think you had to put a lot of discussion into.
Yeah, I think it's a much trickier topic than maybe it gets credit for, just because it's like, oh, well, you got to keep the stadium updated and stuff. Like, it's like, I get it, and you're not wrong, but if the long-term goal is to make money off of the stadium, you're gonna have you're gonna have a hard time getting all the things you need out of that at Memorial Stadium. You just are.
Especially as they keep putting up hotels around there.
And $600 million gets you a pretty damn long way on a brand new stadium.
If they went your way, Ravi, is there something else that they would need to use the land for, like where the stadium's at currently? Like, is there something else that could be built that?
I mean, sure, like that's really premium real estate. They could honestly sell it for a huge chunk of money. I don't know.
And they own the ground.
Yeah, so like I don't know if they would. I think demolishing the stadium would get people more angry than building a new one. Like not having, and because I'll be honest, it looks cool as hell when you drive into Lincoln and you just like kind of come over on the interstate and you just like boom, you get the stadium right in the middle of downtown Lincoln.
That is pretty solid.
It looks awesome. That is the best thing about that stadium, though, is when you drive up. Like, and again, I don't have anything against the stadium. I just, if you're talking about what you need from a football facility and a football stadium, Memorial Stadium, no matter how much money you pour into it, is gonna have things it just can't do.
Yeah, I guess at first blush, I would not be on board with building a new stadium.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I don't think most people are. Is it a practicality thing or a?
Yeah, very much so.
Okay, what are the practical concerns I'm not considering?
So, just the logistics, to the expense to go into the temporary move, or
sure, like in the meantime while it's being built.
Yeah, to wait that out on my return on the dollar.
Sure.
I don't know if I could get my mind around that in the short term, and it could very well be being short sighted. But it doesn't seem like something that fiscally would make a lot of sense.
How much in your mind, because I have like a number-ish in mind, how much do you think a new stadium costs? Do you have any idea on that? I'm not 100% sure. I know what some of the NFL ones you wouldn't have to do.
Twice the renovation number, probably.
I was going to say between like 800 million and 1.2. Like somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
So it is more expensive. I totally understand that. But here's the question though. Can you build, like, let's call it $1 billion, right? For a new stadium. That's probably in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's 400 million more than what we're talking about now. The question is, over the next however many years that the new stadium would
just
be relevant.
Depends on what you think what you're going to recoup in revenues from the renovations.
Right.
That's the number you're pitting it against.
Well, my question is also, how much more are you going to have to put into Memorial Stadium after the 600 within a time frame of that you wouldn't have to put more into a new
I'm
stadium?
guessing the feasibility study tells you that.
Sure. Yes. Yeah.
I think if you're like, for instance, this is a minor, but to your point, if you're spending $600 million on renovations, you're not planning on redoing the plumbing in 10 years.
Right.
Okay,
but I mean, I'm not talking about plumbing. I'm talking about some of the like higher end stuff. You're like, am I going to have to put 200 million more in 10 years?
Into what?
Into technology and into like suite renovations, because, you know, you have to keep those things at the top end of the market if you're going to do what you're talking about in terms of recouping assets. And can you do anything to the stadium to make it more feasible to sell the optimum amount of alcohol? Because people waiting in line that's lost money, right? Every time somebody's waiting in line, that's just lost money. So what is the feasibility? And I don't know what the feasibility study looks like. Obviously, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, well, if you're looking at the renderings, like they're trying to incorporate the things that you're talking about.
Right. My question is, is there things that they can't incorporate because of the structure of the stadium?
Yeah, I just don't think I could get myself to the point of the return where I think it would be worth the initial $1 billion.
Okay. I mean, that's fair.
I don't like, listen, I'm processing fairly quickly.
Yeah. That's fair. But that is the question is the extra $400 million worth what you could return on a optimally built stadium versus trying to retrofit a stadium that wasn't meant for this?
Yeah. And I mean, I get the build and they will come because it's kind of been like that.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I would love to see give me 50 mil of that in like roster retention and acquisition.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just thinking of the practicality. Like when and they will come.
Sure.
I mean,
that's
because the renderings look fantastic.
They do. It looks incredible, right? It looks absolutely phenomenal. But what does the value of non-football revenue from the stadium mean to the university?
You're talking about the Savannah Bananas, the concerts.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about trying to monetize the stadium maximally, you're mostly talking about
using it for other than
things.
8 months out of the 8
8 weeks out of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, not even 8 weeks, for 8 days.
Yeah.
Right. So if you've got 357 other days a year, can you get Memorial Stadium to a point where that maximizes that monetization versus building a new stadium? Or can you even...
Aren't they having isn't somebody coming next week?
I have no idea. Probably.
There's a concert.
I know they do some things out there, like I think like Garth Brooks has gone down there and had big things like that. But you also, I think, have to look at let's say you do the like structural necessities, but not all the sexy stuff. And I think Amy Just or somebody put out an estimate of like $200 million for that stuff. Would you rather spend $200 million on the musts, and then you've got maybe $400 million to say roster construction or things like that? Is that a better return on investment? Talking actual return on investment.
The numbers are in there somewhere. I would just have to play with them. But at first blush, I'd say yes.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, is winning with $400 million extra dollars in roster construction more valuable to the monetization of the university?
It wouldn't have to be that big of a number, but
no. But even over the course, let's say $400 million over the course of 10 years. Like, if you've got an extra $40 million a year on your football roster for a decade, like that can go pretty far, right?
Yeah.
So over that 10 years of being one of the biggest spenders in college football on your roster, is that more valuable to however much you can monetize a stadium?
That's a sweet shot he just sent me.
I think that's the one question that probably matters most.
Yeah. So let's just say I'm entertaining the conversation. My guy just sent me what do you call this? An aerial view?
Yeah, aerial view.
Because you can see Hibner Soccer Stadium. This is terrible radio, you guys. I apologize, but it's between Salt Creek Broadway and Salt Creek, just east of Hibner Soccer Stadium.
Yeah, between Hibner and the Innovation Campus.
It's the Innovation Campus is where he's talking about.
For a new stadium?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a plausible.
And, in his defense, he said this for, I don't know, a handful of years.
Yeah.
He's for a handful.
I mean, I think there's options in terms of location if you wanted to go that direction. But
is it about the same size? I mean, what's the size comparison, like capacity wise?
I think you're talking 70K maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't go much above that. I think
because you still have to recoup your Zach Bryan concert. Thank you, Mike. I knew there's a concert next week.
Yeah.
I don't love I don't love it.
I don't love spending $600 million on Memorial either, though.
Oh, that drawings look pretty nice.
It does. Does that drawing make more money than 4 college football playoff appearances over the next decade?
No, you're preaching to the choir if you're talking
about the roster.
Yeah, I just brought up. Hey, I'd like a little bit of that money.
Yeah, like if I like, because if you're spending
I'm just telling you, fundamentally, this is what I've been talking about with the temperament of the state versus embrace and the ability to do so versus embracing what NIL is. We're just not comfortable,
because if you can come up with $600 million for a stadium, you can come up with NIL money for whoever you want.
Yeah,
right. That's
the point.
So if you say, like, that's what I mean. Like, if you spend 200,
if I could commit $250 million of donor money
to the roster
for a stadium,
okay,
could I? How quickly could I come up with 50 mil for the roster?
Yeah. I mean,
it's
the way we feel about the money.
Yeah,
how the money. Yeah,
and that's always, you're always going to be fighting that, just because the state is what it is from what we believe in.
Yeah, just from a moral and ethics standpoint.
We're always going to run into that.
Let's take a quick break here, and then we will come back and wrap up the show. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
It's time to shift into spring at Edwards Kia. Lease the 2026 Kia Seltos LX as low as $198 a month. Shift into spring for less. Spring on this deal before it's gone. Drive away with more this April. Or lease the 2026 Kia Sportage LX as low as $228 a month. Don't wait. Shift into a fresh deal this spring at Edwards Kia. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Kia.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. As we wrap up the show here on a Friday, talking stadium renovations as the renderings and dollar amounts have just come out.
Can I say something though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, and this isn't, maybe it is being combative. I understand the premise, right? Todd, bright guy. Chuck, bright guy. I understand the difference between NIL and construction, right? The decades and sustainability and lasting. But we're being a little disingenuous if we're not acknowledging that winning 30 years ago still produces revenue.
Winning 50 years ago, winning 30 years ago.
It still produces revenue. So I don't know what the cutoff is in terms of longevity.
But we are talking about decades.
But we are talking about at least decades.
Yeah. We're at 3 of them.
So, like, we got to stop saying that. I get the comparison.
I do. But we're being dismissive of how long-lasting the impact of winning is.
Correct.
And has been at this place.
Correct.
Right? Like,
correct.
There is,
I mean, it has a very, very significant value from whether it's TV packages, 100%. Whether it's memorabilia, whether it's licensing. Like, it has created a ton of revenue.
Dank says the stadium has a measurable and predictable return as opposed to NIL, which is
so no. And
I don't agree with that either. Honestly.
Dank, I'm really good at this. All humility aside, like, you're not going to box me into those kind of linear thoughts, right? Those are questions you pose to people that aren't good at having discussions. NIL does not necessarily equal wins. And I understand the risk associated with committing dollars without the tangible results.
Because that's the thing we're talking about that bothers.
Yeah, I'm acknowledging that that's where the disconnect is. Like, I'm not like, I thought of
but
you're not going to be able to come up with a question where I'm going to paint myself in a corner and be like, oh yeah, it does. Because I don't talk in absolutes. What I'm asking people to do is expand your mind other than just the linear to come up with what's best for everybody. Because eventually that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. 100%.
So I mean, no, it's like, no, I don't.
And yes,
it's proven. I've seen sports over the last 2 years where NIL does not equal championships. But I'm also not dumb enough to think that's the only reason people support NIL, because there's only one champion in every sport every year. So you're never going to get the return. I mean, maybe that was a rhetorical question, but like, I mean, winning goes a long way too.
Winning goes a long way.
Winning goes a heck of a long way.
I mean, and he brought up LSU and Florida State as the examples. There's always going to be examples of teams that spend a lot of money that don't get the results for what they spent. But I would argue if Nebraska had gone 13-0 a couple years ago, the way Florida State did, even given the rest of the results,
they would have capitalized.
We're having a very different conversation 100%. Today, right?
Yeah.
If Nebraska had won even to the level that LSU had over the last few years, we're having a very different conversation. By the way, that includes a Heisman Trophy winner.
Hey, I'm just,
you know what I mean? Like
this sounds crazy from where we are right now. Mm-hmm. 7-6 in back-to-back bowl games in the Novembers we had. If Nebraska, I'll put the bar low, lower than 13-0. If Nebraska won 10 games next year with this insurmountable, daunting schedule that we keep talking about, then put themselves in college football playoff discussion, because it would. That's a revenue generator.
Yes.
It's going to generate a ton of money. So that's very short term. That's not an unattainable number. I'm just giving you perspective to think of it a different way.
Again, even if they had won to the level of LSU under Brian Kelly, which I think is very close to what you're talking about. 10 wins, 9 wins. Last year was 7 wins, right? So
yes, Chuck, I do.
3 9-win seasons, 2 10-win seasons, and then a year that Nebraska had basically the exact same year as last year. That by itself, winning at that level would generate a huge amount of money for Nebraska.
Tater, he didn't get more money. Like, we got to stop making this about. He didn't make more money on the deal, really. He just didn't. But I don't know why we keep trying up.
Remember how you said there's certain things we don't talk about because you're never going to change people's minds?
Okay, apparently that's one of them.
Well, there's certain people that aren't going to change their minds about some of the things we talk about anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think 10 wins
is a total game changer.
It'd be a game changer.
Total game changer. Like, honestly,
imagine the reinvestment, especially on the heels. Just for a second, humor me.
Yeah.
10 wins. You're putting yourself in position for a top 10, top 15 recruiting class. Your current roster is old and apparently pretty good, unless it was just so Calandria or one of your quarterback specifics that they, either Calandria exhausts eligibility or Latif goes somewhere to a higher whatever. Your roster will be in fantastic shape. Like, so the trajectory, I don't know. Like, it'd be a heck of a moneymaker. It would be a heck of a moneymaker. And I'm talking, I say just 10.
I don't even think honestly, I don't even think you have to get to 10.
It would.
10 would for sure.
Yeah, because people would be, what excitement generates? It elicits spending.
Investment. Excitement, it generates investment.
So it's like yeah, I get the long-term infrastructure of a building, and they will come. I 100% get it. And this is why it's hard to have conversations with people, because nobody said that. Nobody's using these words, so you have to consider the source. But you set yourself up for upward play.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that's all.
Because that's all you could really do. Because I thought Tim said something interesting about the NFL hitting on like a 40-45% success rate.
I agree, Lee.
And we think it should be better than that in college, and it's not. It's going to
be worse than that. You have less information
and less resources.
Yeah, less resources, less information, like less of everything. Like the hit rate's not going to be. He said 3-point vertical percentage. I'll say baseball batting average. Like if you in college.
Yeah, I agree. And I think there's data on the NFL with I think the 45% is about right. But I don't know why we would expect that to be.
It's going to be less than that in college.
Now you do have more data points.
Yeah. But you're also dealing with larger rosters too, right? So you could hit on more volume of guys and it still be a worse percentage, right? Like if you hit on 40 guys out of a 120 guy roster, you're still talking about 1/3, right? So I think if you could get into the like 35% for college, you'd probably be in pretty good shape.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, if it's lower than 40, like 40 or 45, like
I mean, you're not seeing 20 person classes anymore, though.
No, but you have to. I think you have to include
the 4-year total. Okay,
the transfer portal guys as well.
Okay,
because I mean, and you should theoretically.
I mean, I want to hit on 9 out of 20.
I mean, 9 out of 20 be 45%. Like that's.
I'm giving it a hard number.
No, that feels yucky when you say it like that, but that's probably right.
You say yucky.
I don't know how else to put. Like it feels gross. Like 9 out of 20 feels like, oh, that sucks. And that's how we look at recruiting classes, right? We'll go back and be like, oh, miss. I get it. But if you're talking about like legitimate, especially the way we talk about star rankings and stuff, like if you're talking about legitimate hits for what they're expected to be, 9 out of 20 is probably on the higher end. Now, I will say with transfer portal guys, you probably need to hit higher than that because you have better data points. Or you should have better data points. It's a higher level of competition. Now, if you're choosing to go try and get guys that haven't produced at that level, that's one thing. But why does Curt Cignetti have such a high hit rate in the transfer portal? What does he look for?
Well, he definitely has specifics.
Well, and he said, hey, we want production.
Google me.
We want production out of the guys that we bring in here. Right?
I'm trying to, like, just so everybody can kind of get the same frame of reference. If you think, how many good players do you think Nebraska is away from a college football playoff spot, or is it effectiveness at a position?
I think it's more specific. I think it's probably effectiveness at a position. I would say
quarterback, rush in, like
I was going to say quarterback and edge rushers. Yes.
Okay.
That's the two spots I thought of immediately. And
let's say if you get an elite level quarterback and an elite level edge rusher, and it costs you $10 million.
Worth it.
Is $10 million
worth a college football playoff appearance?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Just $10 million
extra
pales in comparison to the numbers.
Just 600. Yes. No.
Just trying to give it perspective. Just trying to give it perspective.
Let's be even more aggressive than that, right? Let's say Nebraska is 5 or 6.
Check. Let's say you paid $12 million for a D line. Would that be worth it?
Yeah. Let's say they're $5 or $6 million or 5 or 6 players away. 5 or 6 players away at key spots, right? Quarterback. Give me 2 rush ends. I'll take a defensive tackle. That's 4.
We're just best case scenario.
Yeah. Best case, myopic, right? Best case, ideal scenario. And then give me like an NFL left tackle, which by the way, they might have already, but let's include that. And I don't know, stud wide receiver.
Okay. 25 mil.
6 guys, 25 to 30 mil, right?
Yeah.
You could do that for 20 years. 20 years.
And you wouldn't need to.
You wouldn't, exactly, because by the time you start winning at that point, it kind of starts snowballing on you a little bit. So that's my point with like you.
I'm just trying to give it
like real life context.
Real life context.
Yeah. And you don't have to come up with all the money up front either, which is nice.
Yeah.
Like you can do it kind of in stages. So yeah, like give me 3 D linemen, give me a first round wide receiver, first round tackle, and a quarterback for $30 million. $30 million would buy me that.
Yeah.
Now they still have to want to come here. That's the other part of the equation that we're not talking about right now. But from a financial commitment standpoint, give me $30 million. I can go get those 6 guys or 6 guys like that.
Yeah.
Because at $30 million, you're overpaying for the market.
What if it were like this, where I said, hey, you know what? Because I don't really think he'd want to spend the money just because he has it.
Mm-hmm.
What if you said, hey, if we don't use it, sit on it another year?
Sure. Next year, I got 60 extra.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But also, and this is where
I get it, Chuck. I rock with you. I just wanted you to know that I understand the longevity piece.
Mm-hmm.
I just think we're underselling the immediacy of winning.
Yeah.
Like that has a fairly substantial number to it.
Absolutely. And I think you can get there well before you spend $600 million.
Yeah, but you have to.
But there are things you have to do.
You have to change the stadium, though.
There are. So let's change that.
So
let's change that
just,
600 to a 300.
One of the clients yesterday asked me. She goes, "Hey, what would you?" It's funny that this comes up because she goes, "What would you? What word of it? What would you want to change in your role? What you see versus what we know, and this, that, and the other? If you could like wave a magic wand." And I said, "Hey, I would like some consistency in the message to know what's what in terms of stadium renovation project and understanding the revenue that goes with keeping my sports afloat." If that's it, that was my exact answer to her.
Yeah.
And it didn't make a ton of sense, but I kind of had an idea of what the numbers were. I know what people may think when if you're Will Bold or you're Rhonda Revelle or you're Fred Hoiberg or you're Coach Rule, and you see the price tag. You see the price tag, and your boss is kind of spearheading this. It elicits a discussion.
Yeah, because like, oh, I can.
It elicits a discussion.
I can have a lot of Friday starters for that amount of money.
And so all the people that say, "Hey, well, these sports are winning, give it to that," like you have to understand big picture, because when you get those line item budgets that come back from P&Ls and you look at where the revenue generator is, you have to understand what you're dealing with, even though you may be winning in your respective sport.
Yes, but everybody,
it's just not as easy. That's why I hate the cannibalization, because it promotes chaos.
Everybody should be rooting for football to win.
It promotes chaos
and
we do it so willy-nilly. It's like, oh, I should give it to bat. Like, I get it, it's cute, but it's it's counterproductive.
The fastest way to make sure every other sport has the money they need, win at football.
Yeah. And guess what? To your point, Chuck, if he said he'd rather be in the CFP than get a new video board. You're in the CFP, people will be knocking down your door to put a new video board in.
They'd be like, "Hey, I'm the CEO of Daktronics. Can I help?
How can I be a part of what you're doing?
What can I do for you?"
Yeah.
That's all for today.
All of a sudden, you get more money from
everything, right?
Yeah.
Everybody starts calling, right? When you start to win, everybody starts calling. That is the show for today. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla.
Oh, hi, Sash.
We're about to film a little extra, some game breakdown, some film breakdown for our Patreon subscribers. Make sure you join Hurrdat Sports Live VIP Club on Patreon. You get access to game and film breakdowns, as well as a little Discord. You can chat with me and DB, and
Lord knows they do that.
See if Dank has any more AI thoughts this weekend.
Some of these questions are thoughtful, though.
They are. No, they're interesting. I like them. I like having the discussion. So you can have, it's not just sports. You can, much like the show, you can kind of talk about whatever you want. So make sure you join there. We'll have a new episode out shortly, either later today or tomorrow. And we're about to film that right now. We'll see you on Monday.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.